Hey, what's up, guys? I'm RoberOnocle, or as you better know me, Rob, and I'm here with my good friend Keon and my good friend Mark. What's going on, guys?
Hey!
Hello. Hello. Hello.
And we're here tonight to talk about... I'm sorry, Keon. What were you saying?
So that's enough greetings for now.
Oh, okay, were you just, like, saying hi, like, a bunch of times? Like,
Yes.
like somebody with
Yes, I
OCD
was.
or something?
Was
I
to
will.
say hi three
Anyway,
times.
second.
Yeah, because they're like, wait, I said hi, right? You know, they start saying it over and over again.
Man.
Is that how that works? I don't know.
Sort of, kind of. But
Alright.
we're not here to
Okay.
talk about psychology. We're here to talk about video games and whatnot.
Topic changed. I'm playing.
So, yeah, guys, tonight we are talking about platform preferences. So, unless you just don't play video games, it kind of speaks for itself. But in case you, for some reason, don't know, platform preferences is really what you like to play on for video games. That's really it. What you like to play on the most. And this is not to be any kind of console war nonsense or some kind of PC flaunt fest or whatever. We don't want any of that.
And there it goes.
That's freaking lame. That's boring. We don't want to do that. But we're just here to talk about really any system that you prefer to play on. And it's my uncle already. My uncle already. He was already ahead of me. He beat me to it. For you guys on YouTube, he's saying PC Master Race, but he popped that out before I even finished it, so it's already too late. But he's like, oh, whoops.
Keon, you're not with the PC people?
Not yet, anyway.
Not yet. Okay.
Yeah, I'll be saying why I'm not quite with the PC Master Race quite soon as when I
okay.
start talking about.
He hasn't evolved. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, what?
He is still of the fetal.
He is still peasant.
Okay.
You guys are moving.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah, but let's stop freaking ganking Keon over here. But yeah, we're just here to talk about platform preferences. To be honest, I don't care what you play on. I mean, it's totally fair if you want to question why somebody prefers to play on a platform, or they want to, press with questions. If you're just curious about it, that's really okay. But we're not here to say, well, yeah, if you don't play on PS4, you're freaking stupid. No, I don't. Let's not do that. That's not cool. In fact, if one of you if you're on YouTube, if you're listening, don't even comment on my video if you're like that. And if somebody happens to come in here that's like that, just don't even talk to me, okay? We're not here. We're not. We're not like that around here. So, Keon, you haven't been on here in a while. In fact, I don't think you haven't been on here. It was on the Monster Hunter one, right?
It's Monster Hunter.
Yeah, so that was like
Hunter, yeah.
October about. Shoot, actually,
Monster Hunter.
let me-
I'm so pumped for that game.
Oh yeah. Well, we gotta get you in there, but I'm just gonna look really quick. I'm just really curious to see when's the last time you've been on a Keon, because it has been a while. So I'm just gonna look at my video manager over
Marcus.
here and take a look here before we start
Yeah,
this
Marcus
podcast for
is-
tonight.
Just so pumped about World on PC. The only thing I'm so pumped about is seeing him getting destroyed by his first Zerathalos.
It's a dragon, Mark.
That's
It's
what
a
I'm
really
waiting for.
tough dragon.
All right, thanks for
Yeah,
that.
that's. Oh, August actually.
August.
Oh, that's
Keon,
even
you haven't been
worse.
here since August, man. It's been a while.
I'm a veteran. Tell me how I feel.
That is absolutely unacceptable. Although you've been on the Out Loud Thinking, so that sort of kind of counts actually. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So since we haven't had you on in a while, how about we have you go first? So we'll keep it simple, really simple. We'll start off with this. Keon, what is your favorite platform? Like out of all of them.
Out of all of them, a no-brainer, the Sony PlayStation 2. It's what I grew up playing. It has some of my most favorite games like Tekken Tag Tournament, Rygar, Onimusha Warlords, and plus it's backwards compatible with PS1 games, so you can play a bunch of other games on there like the Crash Bandicoot trilogy, Spyro, Tekken 3.
Wow,
all
you
that
guys
good
were
stuff.
in sync with Spyro. That was amazing.
Yeah, Spyro.
Yeah, I'm with Keon on this one.
Yeah, man.
I grew up on that thing too.
Yeah, PlayStation 2, man. It's
PlayStation
on
1
right
and
there,
2.
man.
Those two, I was like, whoop.
Yeah.
That's when I
PS1,
first touched
PS2.
the controller. I remember because I was I don't even know what I was playing, but I was completely like not even doing the objective. I was just happy I was playing the game.
I mean,
we all get
it's a game. You're supposed to have a good time. So
I was having a blast
I mean-
doing nothing.
hey, you're doing it right then.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're having a blast and you're doing it right, that's really it. But yeah, the PlayStation 2. Not only does it just have some of my favorite games. Well, that's definitely a good reason. It's because of more so the memories as well that I've grown up playing the console with, just playing with my brother and how we just beat each other back and forth in like Tekken and Dragon Ball and all that other good stuff. And plus, I also do really like the DualShock 2 controller. The DualShock 2 controller is really good, except for when the L2 and R2 buttons get stuck. That sucks. Like, that sucks hard. And
At least it ain't DualShock 3.
at least ain't DualShock 3. DualShock 3 is terrible.
It is. Oh, that is so bad.
The weird like kind of
Special
triggers.
shout out to. Yeah, the kind of triggers, and plus DualShock 3s break like in a month. So
Dude, man, tell me about it. I
My
hated
R2
that.
button.
I'll have to.
My R2
I'll have
button
to
on my
freaking-
favorite controller like snapped off completely.
On a DualShock 3, right?
Ouch.
Yeah.
Shocker.
I was like, oh man, I love my gold controller.
All this
I-
gold.
you know-
Oh, you had to be hurt, man.
I was so. I was playing, and I remember I was playing Soul Calibur, and I was really just whooping this guy.
Oh.
And I was like R2, and it was like snap. I'm like fuck. Like no.
R2 Soul Calibur, dude. Soul Calibur's so good, but this ain't a Soul Calibur podcast.
But it is really good. We should play it sometime. See if I still got it.
Wait, which one? Which one?
Either 4 or 5, either one.
Oh, cool. I'll play you in 4 then. But
All right.
yeah, I'll play you in 4. But anyway, yeah, PlayStation 2. Special shout out to the freaking the PS1 edition DualShock 2. That thing is beautiful. I still have mine, and it works like a charm even after all these years.
Well, yeah, it's a DualShock 2
Oh,
model.
yeah.
It's actually
too.
stable. It actually, you can't blow on it, and it can't shatter into a million pieces.
There seems to be a trend with older equipment.
True that.
There seems to be a trend with older equipment like being more reliable.
Oh
and,
yeah.
and this new like what happened? Where do we fall off with like reliability? I don't know.
Somewhere.
Because like,
Yeah,
okay, fellas,
Big cliff.
fellas, is it not the most unsatisfying feeling when you pick up that controller and you hear that stupid rattly sound in it?
Yeah.
You guys know what I'm talking about.
Oh,
Yeah.
That is the most unsatisfying thing.
Yep.
Because you're like, well, that rip. You know, like that's it.
It's gone. Dead. Rest
Oh
in
man, I
peace.
get so irritated. I'm like, because I know exactly what it means. And more, in most cases, it's a freaking DualShock 3. I'm like, I'm just.
Yep, a DualShock 3.
And
I don't
DualShock
even
4
know
is
how many of those I've ran.
I'm sorry, what you saying?
Huh?
Keep going.
I don't even know how many of those I freaking ran through, like in my life. I had a red controller. I think I had a black controller at one point. I had a few third-party controllers that broke within a week. I even have this freaking one controller. It's a camo controller. I actually still have it. I got it for my birthday a few years back. And a month after my birthday, the thing just started randomly turning off. And it still has that problem to this day. I tried doing the little button reset on the very back of the controller,
Mm-hmm.
but DualShock 3s are freaking terrible. DualShock 2, DualShock 4 Master.
Yeah. Why do DualShock 1, 2, and 4 work so well, but 3 is just. It's just like it's
I
like.
guess it was their. I guess it was like their first sort of like thing going out with like wireless controllers or whatever. I don't know.
I think it's because how in the earlier games for PS3, they put like Uncharted 1, for instance.
Uh-huh.
You know how they kind of forced you to do this weird little movements with the controller? Maybe it was that.
Oh, 6-axis? Yeah, 6-axis could have definitely broken a controller.
Yeah. I think that's the cause. Because then like in later games they stopped doing that. Like, they only did it in the beginning game, so they're trying to introduce something new or whatever. I don't know what their plan was, but
I think we could just
At
agree
least
that
they got
like
it right with the DualShock 4.
DualShock 4 is amazing.
yeah, it is.
It's way, way better than 3. But I think we could all agree that DualShock 3 is just poorly manufactured.
Yep, they did a goof and they fixed it, so it's all good.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Now, if only the
let's
PS4 had games on it that I wanted to play, aside from like God of War and like Uncharted 4.
Guilty Gear.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, Mark. So,
I'm
sorry, Keon. If you have anything to say, keep going.
I was just gonna say, have a little bit of reminisce, sort of like a little backstory on another reason why I freaking love the PlayStation.
Oh, dude, knock it out.
It was Christmas of one year. My mom got us a stainless steel PlayStation 2. That thing was beautiful.
Oh, the silver one?
Unfortunately, it's no longer. Yeah, it was the silver one. Silver Slim.
Whew.
The nice and tiny one.
Must
It
have looked
looked
nice.
amazing. Stainless steel. That nice stainless steel controller fresh out the box. It was beautiful. Man. Unfortunately, that PlayStation 2 is no longer with us. We went to go get it fixed, but it never came back. Because my freaking little brother would like pick it up and slam it because I would never let him play.
I hate children.
I'll kill him.
I do too. Like, he broke that freaking sweet PlayStation 2. I remember I was playing Avatar in it one day. Avatar Last Airbender. The fire game.
Bro, is it like... Oh, no, is that Avatar Last Airbender game? Is that like the Diablo-ish Avatar Last Airbender game?
Yeah, the Diablo.
Yeah, I played that one too.
Yeah.
Me too, I beat it.
Fire one.
Dude, I love that game. Yeah, I beat it too. That game was amazing.
Yeah, it's called, dang, what's it called though?
I don't know, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I played the fire game. The fire game was awesome on the PlayStation. But yeah, I was like gliding around with Aang just because I thought it was super fun. And when my little brother was like, oh, let me play, he freaking kept dropping it and crap. But anyway.
I don't think I even have it in me to do that, because I'm like, I don't know, a stainless steel slim PS2 sounds too holy to tamper with.
Yeah, but that was like years down the line. That was years down the line. But yeah, when we first got this thing, my mom also bought us an extra controller. It was a third-party controller. More than likely costed a lot less than a DualShock 2 at the time. But
right.
Hey, that's what I played on, and we freaking sat there. We loaded up the PlayStation 2. My eyes widened when I saw my brother load up Dragon Ball Z Sparking, which was the first game that we had at the time.
Okay.
We sat there and we played it for hours and hours on end. It was definitely one of the best gaming experiences that I've had, like, ever. Simply because of, I was like, man, it was the PlayStation 2. I hadn't seen anything like that before. The only thing that we had was the N64 and the PS1. Like, seeing the actual PlayStation 2 and seeing it load up my favorite Dragon Ball Z characters blew my mind when I was a kid. And, just holding the DualShock 2 in my hand, it was so much more different than an N64 controller or any of the DualShock 1s that we had, because we had the original DualShock 1s, the one with no analog sticks.
Oh, wow. Dang, that's old school.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, those are old school.
The one with just the freaking rigid D-pad.
Yeah.
I felt like I was in control. Like, I felt empowered in that moment. Even though I got freaking decimated by my brother in a bunch of games of Dragon Ball Z Sparking, but I just felt powerful holding that freaking third-party controller. Oh man, you should have freaking known how I felt when I actually held my brother's controller, the Player 1 controller. Man,
the Player 1 controller. I see where the I see how your brother was. I'm always Player 1, no matter what.
Yeah,
dude, I was just like that.
that
that was exactly me. I can't even hide it.
I was always Player 2 because I'm the youngest.
And, I mean,
so I kind of make fun of people like that, like, oh, you guys should be Player 1, huh? Because I was brought up I'm at the other end of the stick.
And I am like on the literal polar opposite, because I'm at the top. So,
Jesus.
And that's exactly what I did. I'm sorry, Keon, continue.
Everybody, like, a lot of people would usually dog you for being Player 2, but nowadays I stick being Player 2 in freaking I'm immortal in games nowadays. But anyway, that's off topic. Yeah, PlayStation 2. Freaking stainless steel, beautiful thing changed my life for dang near ever. But I'm going to halt for now on the PlayStation 2 because this is just simply a question about what's my favorite platform. I could go on about why I like it because of, arcades and stuff, but I kind of want to pass the torch over to Mark.
All right, cool. Hey, a nice and fair guest. Hey, how about that? All right, so Mark, well, Keon kind of did the job for me, so, hey, what's your favorite platform?
All right. Well, right now it's PC, because you already know who I am.
Well, yeah.
PC Master Race, we are the top. I'm kidding. I'm sorry. I'm kidding. Don't attack me.
Man.
I always, say things like that just to mess with people, like all my console friends, like Keon and my buddy Lawrence.
I do the same thing, just to be annoying.
But, like, just to be stupid, right?
Yeah.
I hate it.
And that's why we do it. But anyway.
You're still losing.
But anyway, the real reason why I like PC so much is because it just saves me so much money. Like, it's just like, at first you dump all this money into this computer and then boom, that's it. That's the only payment you got to make for like years if you do it right, because you pay for all these parts and pay for all the the good ones that will keep you
actually know what you're freaking buying.
Right, you know what you're buying, and it's reliable. It sits in there. I just recently bought a new power supply because the one I bought from 5 years ago died out because it was old or whatever. That's how long it usually lives. I looked it up online. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, you got your uncle in here, I think. No, he's gone.
Wait, oh yeah, he was playing a game with a friend, so he might return.
Okay, well,
his friend
it just goes to Japan. Okay, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it just goes to show that how reliable these parts are, and I still have parts in there that are about like 3 years old, and they're working just fine. They're all right, and I like it because I don't have to update my console every time the new one drops or whatever. When I buy a game on the PC, I will always be able to play it on my PC. I will always be able to do it. I don't have to worry about, is it backwards compatible? My heart broke when PS3 didn't play PS2 games. I was so mad. I'm like, why are you not doing that?
Early versions of PS3s actually could play PS2 games, but for some reason the PS3 kind of had some issues doing it.
The Slim couldn't do it.
Yeah, they had some serious issues. In fact, some games actually didn't function the same. On the PS3, depending on what you're playing. And then Sony was like, well, so why bother optimizing when I can get my money anyway? And they just kind of did that.
Yeah, because I guess I had the slim. I guess I had the slim version because I tried to plug it in and it didn't do anything. So I'm like, what? Why? But yeah, I just love PC so much. And then I do have a problem with PC. The only problem I have is it's just like a little irk I always have. Everything that could go wrong with a PC always happens to me. Every single thing I can hit every single roadblock when it comes to PC. I'm just like, oh my god, what happened now? But other than that,
you want to tell everybody about your whole Fallout fiasco that I had to come over and help you out with?
God, okay, I love Fallout. I love Bethesda games, even though they are irritating, but I still love them. But anyway, man, I was trying to play Fallout 4, and I bought it. I was like, oh, man, this is so cool. I'm so ready. And, I'll go in there. I play, I had to say around, 2 hours of it. And then everything, just started, going rainbow out of nowhere. I would look at a rock, and it would just be rainbow. I'm like, in the world?
Rainbow
and then
rock.
Yeah, it's a rainbow rock. And then I'll walk into, a base, and then, all the floor pads are rainbow. I'm like, huh. What? And then just suddenly, boom, crash. I'm like, that was weird. I launched back in, 10 minutes of play, same thing happens, boom, crash. So that kept happening. So I was like, okay. So I looked it up, and this is 10% of my time on PC is looking up ways to fix things because it's always broken. I'm so tired of looking at Reddit pages and Steam support pages. Yeah, I'm like, oh, so tired of looking at these pages. But so I looked through it. I couldn't fix it, and finally, I'm like, I need some help. I was gonna call my uncle, but I was like, nah, he'll be over here forever. So I was like, wait a minute, I got Robert. I have a hope. So he came over and he fixed it. He actually fixed it. Oh, like through I don't know, what was it, like an hour you came over?
About an hour and a half.
Yeah, so he fixed it. But my problem is, why can't I fix it? Why do I have to go through all this pain and suffering just to play a game? So that's my problem with PC. It's like it's like, consoles, you don't have to worry about that. Consoles, you can plug in a game and you know that game is going to launch.
Unless it's an EA game, then it won't launch.
And then it won't, because you got to pay a $7 fee before you play it.
Right, for the update to fix the game.
Right. But yeah, like consoles, that thing's going to play. So I do like that about consoles. But I still grew up on consoles. I actually played on all three of the big three, if you should say, like Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. PlayStation, we already know. I grew up on it.
Big four. You completely left out Nintendo.
Well, look, whatever. I just okay. Okay, Nintendo's like Honda, and then the big three are like, the big three. But whatever. But anyway, what did I say? Oh, okay. So PlayStation, I did all that, and then Xbox. My friend actually had an Xbox, and it was fun because all we did was play Halo 1 all day. That's all we did. What? What? Come on now, Halo. That's like a classic. Anyway, we always played that, and we played Fusion Frenzy. That game was so lit. Fusion Frenzy was the most fun game. It was like Mario Party, but better. It was so fun to play Fusion Frenzy.
Was it really that good?
Yes.
Well, if you're comparing it to the older Mario Party games, I guess that'd be saying something. If you compare it to like Mario Party 10, then that ain't nothing.
Okay, look, I'm talking about the Mario Parties of that time. So it's like 4, 3,
one to 4. Yeah, those are back when Mario Party was actually a not dry series.
Yeah, and I was So yeah, we all play on Xbox. Actually, I did play on the Wii because I played Smash Bros all the time, and then
Oh, okay, yeah. So you lied to everybody. Is what you're telling me.
I did. So I played on mostly all of them.
Dirty liar.
Okay, listen. Jeez, my memory's not good. So but I only played a little bit on Wii. Of course, I played the Wii Sports. That was always like the first Wii game.
Everybody played Wii Sports. Like
that was the first Wii game I've ever played. And then Wii Sports Resort, when you had that little sword fighting, that was fun. But anyway,
yep, sword fighting.
Resort was amazing.
I was like, boom! It was so fun. But yeah, and Xbox. And the thing about Xbox, even after I played that, I stopped playing Xbox for a long time. Played on PlayStation, and then when I got Xbox 360, because I don't know why I got it, but I think my dad's friend was he was selling it for something, and it was for dirt cheap, so it was in good condition too. And I got Xbox Live on it, and I started making friends on there, and all my friends from school were playing it, because no one at my school played PlayStation except for all the cool kids. And meaning cool kids, meaning all of my friends, all the other people played Xbox, and my friends played PlayStation. I'm like, why?
Holy crap, that was me then. I was part of I was one of those people then, because we were playing PlayStation games all the time.
Yeah, I was like, why? But anyway, yeah, Xbox is around 4th through 7th grade. Yeah, because I bought it for 3 years or whatever, and then I was done, and then Robert
stopped.
Yeah, because I didn't have. That was back when PlayStation Network was free, so I was like,
Those were the days.
Yeah, those were sad times.
Go PS Triple.
Also, that's another thing I like about PC. I don't have to pay for my internet. That's another thing. I can just.
Amen to that.
Right, that.
Amen to that. Yeah.
Saves you money. I'm telling you, it just saves you money. You already pay your cable bill, which that's your internet as well.
Right.
But then when I have to pay an additional fee, then I'm like, look, what?
You're like, why am I paying for internet when I'm already paying for internet?
I'm paying for internet twice.
If you think that's terrible, try playing Final Fantasy 14 on the PS4. You gotta pay for your internet, pay for the PS Plus subscription, and pay for the game prescription thingy.
What? You have to subscribe to the game?
You have to subscribe for the game, yes.
What?
So that's 3 fees you gotta pay.
They are playing.
That's 3 of them. Tree.
They are. You are having a laugh. What is? You have to subscribe to. This ain't no magazine. What do they think this is?
This is why it's Final Fantasy 11 Master Race. Speaking of RIP Final Fantasy 11.
Now
Man.
I was like thinking about Final Fantasy 14, but you just made me not want to play it now. Like,
I'm burnt.
Relax, that's only on PS4, dude. Once we get it on PC, we'll be riding chocobos into the sunset.
okay.
Chocobos. But again, oh man, speaking of like Final Fantasy, a game that was on the PlayStation that I really, really loved, and it always killed me every time I played it, but I loved it at the same time, was Kingdom Hearts. That was the best crossover in gaming history. I can't like in history. It was so perfect. Disney and Final Fantasy. I didn't know any of the Final Fantasy people. By the way, Cloud is I hate Cloud because he killed me like 6,000 times. I hated him. I was like, I'm tired of that
Zack
boy.
Is better. We all know that Zack is the best.
I don't know who that is, but you know, there's a part in the level where you had to fight Cloud, and he was just so like, huh. I'm Cloud, and he always just walked by me in his little edgelord mechanic self, and
he looked like freaking Vincent Valentine more than Cloud, and I kind of like that.
But
who's Vincent Valentine? I'm about to blast that picture into the chat.
Vincent Valentine, he's from Final Fantasy VII. He's a vampire dude. That's who they based Cloud's appearance off of in Kingdom Hearts, I believe.
I'm about to blast this into the channel.
Don't worry. Cloud does eventually become good in Kingdom Hearts, I think. I know I just saw him.
Yeah, he does. In Kingdom Hearts, he was just in the arena, and you know, you were in the arena too, so you had to fight him. So you know, he wasn't a bad guy. He was just annoying. Because he had this move where he just kept like, and he would go like, he would like, you know, point his sword at you and just fly at you, and then there's no break because he's coming right back. The rebound is amazing. It's better than LeBron. He's just coming right back at you. Like,
dude, you got hit with an Omni Slash. Hold that.
I hate the Omni Slash.
Hold that.
God.
Freaking Omni Slash. Hold that.
Oh, but yeah.
I still have yet to play a Kingdom Hearts game. Well, I played the original for a little bit, but I was like, oh, what do I do? And I just kind of stopped.
What do I do?
Yeah, I'll probably get that on PS4 sometime. The Kingdom Hearts HD thing.
It's awesome. Don't get the one that's like 2.5 or 1.5. Whatever one. There's one of them that's like a weird card game. I don't like that.
Oh no, I'm getting like the remakes with like more content in it and all that.
Okay. Well, yeah, like after Xbox, I played PS3 again, and then, you know, that's when Robert kind of got me onto PC. So I was playing both of them at the same time, because you know me, I don't really care as long as I'm playing the game. And I'm having fun. Bada bing, bada boom. But when PS4 came out, that's when it sealed the deal for me, because my dad got a PS4, and I was like, I don't want one. I'm good. Like,
oh, that's right, because your dad does that like separate consoles thing, right?
Yeah, because like that was awesome. By the way, I thought my dad was the coolest person when he bought a second PS3 so I can play with him. I was like, yes. But anyway, yeah, when PS4 came out, that's really what sealed the deal for me, because my dad told me, you know, you have to pay for PlayStation Plus, and PlayStation Plus gets you online. I remember when PlayStation Plus was like, it just used to be like a separate thing where you get like free games or whatever.
Yeah, it used to be.
Yeah, so like that was when it was cool. Like I was like, okay, PlayStation Plus might be worth it, but you know, I was a kid. You know, I didn't have money. I didn't even know what a credit card looked like. But yeah, when PS4 came out, PC all day. That's what happened. And then I was playing on a normal desktop one that was just like, you know, average. And then I slowly started upgrading it, and then when I had the summer job, I just completely upgraded it with like craziness. And and got this beauty right here, and then yeah, here we are. So that was about 2 years ago when I like oh, no, it was actually a year ago when I like got this massive computer.
I thought it was 2 years ago. It might have been.
No, because
it might have been early 2017, right?
it was the summer of 2017 because
Summer.
that's when because you were having GM internship,
Okay.
and at the same time I was working at the other summer program. So like that's where I got the money to completely blast this computer with awesome parts.
I see.
So that's how I know. So yeah, it's just I love PC because mainly because it's cheaper. I don't have to pay for internet. When I buy a game, I know I can play it whenever I want. And if I want to play it in 10 years, it'll still be here. You know, I don't have to like buy a whole new system or whatever. And just PC is just better.
Yeah, the lack of
I'm playing.
The lack of backwards compatibility on like any console is just the most depressing thing, and it's draining. I'm just like,
It is.
Hey, man, this is why we keep our old console.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if I had to fill my
Why do you-
closet up with like the PS1 through 20, I'm gonna have a.
This is why you have those neat collection shelves like I do.
Well, I don't
You
listen.
organize
My
it.
collection shelf is just one big, beautiful box.
It's just a box.
Well, I guess my thing with it is that, well, one, I don't like having a bunch of systems lying around. Like, I would rather it all just be available on one system.
one place.
Yeah, just in just one place. Like, I'm a guy that's very hung on convenience. I love convenience to like the umpteenth degree. Like, if it ain't convenient, you're already just killing my drive to mess with the system to begin with. Like, when PS4 wasn't backwards compatible with PS3, I'm already tempted to not mess with this thing. Like, when I heard
No.
that, I'm just like, oh man, I'm like, please.
No, Robert doesn't like to get inconvenienced. No, what?
And I mean, like, it's good to have that PS3 around, but one, it doesn't come with any of the PS, 4's like benefits or anything. I gotta play on an inferior system, which already bugs me. And you can't use the PS4 with the controllers with the PS3, which makes things easier, I will say. But I mean, even again, I like to have everything in one place. That's just the kind of guy I am. I prefer that. Like, if the PS4 could play PS3 games and flawlessly at that, what purpose is it to keep the PS3 around? I'm a very out with the old, in with the new kind of guy. So, I mean, that's just my whole spiel with it. And then you get stuff like the Nintendo Switch, which just ain't backwards compatible either, which is a little unlike Nintendo, but hey, I guess it is what it is. But yeah, I'm just then again with Nintendo though, Nintendo constantly switches up console gimmicks. So Nintendo's pretty much the only one that I can completely understand.
It has an excuse. Yeah, they have an excuse.
Yeah, because they're always switching console stuff all the time with all these gimmicks. And like, I can kind of see why they just can't go back sometimes. Like, I'm not expecting like something like the N64 to play like SNES games or anything like that. Like, I'm just not, or GameCube to N64. That's just not gonna work. Not without having some expensive hardware to add to it or something like that, Which in that case, you might as well just keep the N64 with you. But I mean, yeah, I've never been a big fan of having to just like keep a big fan of just systems not being able to like go back and play something. Like I like it in with PC where it just works. And I mean, of course, you got a couple of games from the 90s, that they're a little finicky and they don't want to play sometimes. But I mean, usually if you go to Steam, you're usually pretty good because there's a lot of teams out there that optimize older games from the 80s and 90s on PC for now, so that they function. So, really, with a lot of PC games, with backwards compatibility issues, it really doesn't exist, save for a few examples. But I mean, can you really point to a handful of PC games versus all the ones that do work? And the ones that usually don't work are the ones that nobody usually cares about anyway. But again, even then, it kind of takes a little bit of effort for for older PC games to not work on newer hardware. Like, that's just kind of a non-issue with PC. But I still haven't went all the way back to my history yet. And Mark, if you're all done, I can take it on over to me.
I'm so done. Go ahead.
We're actually about 35 minutes into it, and we're just now getting to me.
Well, that's how you know this is a good topic.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you, man. Every time I'm on a podcast, it just drags. Like Monster Hunter.
Well, you're always on a good podcast, and you Monster Hunter, you're very knowledgeable of it.
That's exactly what I told Robert. Every
we had this
podcast
exact
I'm on
conversation.
is a good podcast.
Hey, my uncle's back.
Welcome back, good sir.
Hey.
So, yeah, bring it around to me.
Welcome
So,
back to the stage of history.
So of course my favorite platform is PC, but just like you two, I wanna reel it back. I don't wanna just jump up to PC. So bring it back to my favorite system. Now I am a GameCube guy. The GameCube.
Oh, GameCube.
The GameCube was
Freaking box of cocaine.
What? Excuse me?
What?
No, you didn't hear. No, you didn't hear about the guys who like stored a bunch of cocaine in a GameCube.
What?
I know
I'm gone. I checked out on that one.
Yeah, I don't. I haven't heard of that one. That sounds.
I'll tell you after.
Okay, that sounds special. I'm just saying. And Uncle's Becky saying, sorry, had to drop out. GameCube was indestructible. It really was. It was back in Nintendo's indestructible era where everything they made just did not break.
You know the cool thing about Nintendo. Wow. You know a thing that I liked about Nintendo so much is that their games were just so colorful. I just loved it. It was so pleasing to the eye to play anything. And their games now are just unbelievably beautiful. Like,
oh yeah,
Mario Kart 8. I'm sitting here drifting around this beautiful scenery. I'm like, wow, look at all these colors. They're just popping. I'm about to die. But yeah, I just wanted to add that about Nintendo.
All those other cool, pretty games.
Yeah, they're just all gorgeous. Like they got everybody else with the, scenery or whatever you want to call it.
Aesthetic.
Thank you.
Yeah, aesthetic.
So back at my my Nintendo days, back when I actually cared for Nintendo as a company, so the GameCube happened, and the first system I probably ever played on was the I want to say the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, over at my grandparents' place. And I thought it was pretty alright. I was like, hey, these games are pretty dope. I'm really having a good time. And I actually never tried a NES in real life. Just saying, I'd never, just throwing it out there. I've never tried an original NES. I just feel that's a weird detail, if you will. But getting back to the SNES, so yeah, I played it. I thought it was a pretty cool system. Had some stuff. I played some Killer Instinct and what all I play on it? Final Fight, Street Fighter. What else did I play on it? I played quite a bit. Oh, Pilot Wings. That weird Bubble Blaster game, Super Bubble Blaster or something.
Buster Brothers.
Buster Brothers. Thank you. Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah, Buster.
Yeah, that. But yeah, I thought it was a really cool system. I was like, yeah, this is pretty alright. I'm like, oh, Nintendo, pretty cool. And this was back when I was like 1, like when I could hardly speak. And I'm like, I knew it was like a Super Nintendo. I'm like, this is pretty alright. I could. I was 1, so I could hardly think. But I'm like,
so you saw it and you called it the horror.
I'm like,
freaking drooling on the controller.
I'm having a good time, and I can't speak, but I'm like. I'm aimlessly hitting buttons, because I'm 1. But I'm like, I still was really interested into it. But then, fast forward like about a year later. So I'm 2, and my parents get a Nintendo GameCube, and this thing freaking blew me away. Because we got games like Mario Party 5 on it. We got Mario Kart Double Dash, which is one of my all-time favorite games ever made. And I also got Luigi's Mansion on it, which is another one of my all-time favorite games ever made. And we got Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. We got a lot of really good games on it, but I think the real highlights for me was Mario Kart Double Dash and Luigi's Mansion. You know, I never really when I was younger, I really like it now, but when I was younger, I never really could get too into Paper Mario. I mean, I kind of liked it, but I just thought it was all right. I really wasn't that big a fan of RPGs back then. I am now, but back then I just kind of didn't care about them. And but Double Dash and Luigi's Mansion, those are the show stealers for me. And also that's also where we had the Legend of Zelda collection for the GameCube, and that's where I tried Zelda for the first time. Now I know I say that I played on the Super Nintendo first, but I would say that the first game I actually tried to play, so I would say like more or less my official first game that I ever played, I would say it's actually Ocarina of Time. So my first game was actually a Zelda game, which kind of speaks volumes for a little bit as to why I like Zelda so much, because it's one of the first things I tried and I really got into it. Again, a game I really try to try, not like Killer Instinct where I'm just Killer Instinct or Pilot, I'm just like, I'm just hitting buttons, with no consideration, no considering what they actually do. So Ocarina of Time was like the first game I actually tried to play, but that's an N64 game, and that's cheating. So, so getting back to GameCube games. Now, Mario Kart Double Dash, this is my first Mario Kart game too. This game blew me out of the water. Like it was really nothing like I'd ever seen before. I'm like, you're riding around in carts, you're moving really fast. People are right in the back, they're throwing stuff at each other, and they're like punching people out of the way and crap. I'm like, oh, wow, this game is like the stuff. This game is amazing. And Luigi's Mansion was and I kind of actually had a little Mario phase. I can't really pinpoint exactly when I got hooked on Mario around that time, but Mario was like my god back then. But Luigi's Mansion was I think it fit that Mario quota a bit well, even though it was Luigi. But it was me being a 2-year-old, the game freaking spooked the crap out of me, cause it's Luigi's Mansion, and it's a spooky mansion. But I just thought the gameplay was really fun. I liked exploring throughout the mansion, even though it spooked me. It scared me, but I thought the game was it was really engaging. I liked lighting up the rooms, catching all the ghosts. It was a really good time, and I could still sit down and really enjoy Luigi's Mansion to this day. It's a really good game. In fact, excuse me. In fact, I actually consider it vastly superior to Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, even though Dark Moon is a lot longer than the first game, which I would say is a pretty good edge, because the first game ain't that long. It really isn't. But even still, I really, really enjoyed the first game. Quality over quantity, if you will. So, what also came into my life was the PlayStation 2. Which I'd say is probably probably my second favorite console out there. Mostly because it was just kind of like the GameCube for me, but it was Sony. That was kind of it. I played stuff like Pac-Man World 2, Jak and Daxter, Crash Bandicoot, the usual. Spyro, all that good stuff. Played all that, and it wasn't so much feel with that. Jak and Daxter is what I found myself being attached to the most, and I still do really enjoy Jak and Daxter. Jak 2 especially I really do enjoy, and then there was Jak 3 that came a little later, which I also really enjoyed. That one. There was Jak X Combat Racing, which was also a fantastic game. But so yeah, just kind of stuck with that for a while. Then there was the Nintendo Wii, and I don't know why, but when the Nintendo Wii happened, I don't know, I wanted one so freaking bad. I'm like, oh man, I can use my arm. I'm like, I don't know why. I just thought that I don't know, that was just the coolest thing.
Yeah, that was a new when I found out that you had to actually like point when we launched Wii Sports and then we played bowling. I was like, all right, what button do I press? It's like, no, you actually bowl. I'm like, what? Like my mind just blew up. Like, it was so revolutionary that you can like move your arm and things happen. It was pretty, like, you know how when in the old days, if you ever played a racing game, you wanted to turn and you try to turn harder, you like turn your controller and your entire body to the left. Well, now you can do that and it actually does something.
Right.
Yeah, the Wii, I was like, man, what?
Racing games are terrible.
You still what?
The motion controls in racing games are often terrible.
Yeah,
yes, they are.
Yeah, they are. But my parents can tell you this. I would not shut up about that Wii. I was always freaking talking about that thing. And when I saw it, Super Smash Bros. Brawl, dude, that was it. I'm like, I could not. And when I saw Super Smash Bros. Brawl and I saw Super Mario Galaxy, dude, that was it for me. I could not stop talking about that. I was like, I have to have these games, which, funny enough, I actually never got around to playing Brawl until 2011, but that ain't really important. But, but yeah, and I saw those two games, I'm like, I have to have this. This is necessary for life.
Okay, so I got a question for you then. What did you ever get this Wii?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so all right, my next question. What was your exact reaction of getting this Wii?
Dude, man, I almost had a heart attack. I'm like,
I need like an actual reenactment right now.
Okay. Now, I'm the kind of guy where I don't, and even, I still kind of do this today, but, I don't really say much when I get surprised. I'm more visual when I get surprised. So, I think rather than, because you guys can't see my face, of course.
So hang on.
So hold on.
Right.
No, I got this. So
okay, you got this.
When I saw it, I was basically like this.
Oh, you beat me to it! You beat me to it! I was in the middle of uploading it. No.
I was basically like that. And you guys, I feel bad for you guys on YouTube, surprised? But it's the really blurry screaming Rob face. That was basically it. It's like my body was like it was like burning up. I'm like I felt so good in that very moment. I didn't really make a sound, but I was like, if I'm vibrating so fast, I would cut your arm off if you touched me. I was so happy to see that Wii when my dad was like, open the present, Rob. I'm like, well, or he might have opened it because Dad's kind of got this tradition where he opens up the console stuff. But I'm over there. I'm like, is that a Wii? I'm eyeballing that box hard. I'm like,
is that a Wii?
And then I'm like, and then he pulls it. I'm like, oh, and then he pulls out Super Mario Galaxy, and I'm like, oh, I just get even more excited.
A big smoke.
A big smoke from GTA.
That second sound you made when you said Super Mario Galaxy, the scream after that, the exact sound is being made from this picture.
Yeah, that's the exact sound.
Now, I was trying to explain this to somebody. I was with somebody. I was like, it's like I can hear, when I look at the picture, I can hear a sound coming from the picture, and that's the sound that I hear coming from this picture. When I look at this picture, I hear, oh!
Just this hellish scream.
Yeah.
But I was really. I'm sorry. What did you say?
No, I'm just mad that you beat me to it. I'm about to surprise you,
dude. It was by like a whole 3 seconds too. It was such a close finish. Oh man.
It was.
But to get back to what I was saying, so yeah, I got really stoked about that, and Super Mario Galaxy is a very enjoyable game actually. It's honest to God, that's just because of the Wii gimmick. It actually is a really good game. Although I think 64 is better. Fight me, but yeah, I still really enjoy Galaxy, and then I got Galaxy 2 a few years later when it came out, or 2010 or whatever it came out. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. So then the next thing comes around. I'm like, hey, you know what? I want a PS3. Dad, can I have a PS3? It's like 2011 or no 10. It's 2010 actually. I've been playing on the Wii at this point and all that, but I'm like, I want a PS3. Dad, I'm just asking him. I'm in 5th grade. I'm like, Dad, can we get a PS3? I'm like, this is like a pretty. I've been playing the PlayStation since PlayStation 2, but I'm like, you know what? I think PlayStation 3 might be pretty cool. So he's like, he's like, we'll see. My dad doesn't guarantee anything because it's kind of pointless to promise that, But surely enough, actually, there's something really funny about this. So, my dad had this I guess he had some kind of app thing or something that would have this guy. He would read out your name and he would talk about the present you won. But it was a Santa Claus thing. It was around Christmas time, and he had this thing where he would say your name and he would open up a book But like it was like it could like Photoshop like the words into the book about what you wanted, you know, and all that, you know, just to blow away the little kids and all that because we're stupid, you know. But you know, like he's like, Rob, so I heard that you wanted a PlayStation. Or he's like, Rob, I heard that you were a good kid this year, you know. Or that's my Santa voice. He's like, you know, let's see, you've been pretty good, okay, yeah, you've been really nice to your parents, you know that. And then he's like, all right, let's see what you wanted for Christmas this year. And then he opens up the book and it says like PlayStation 3. I don't know why everybody in the room started dying laughing at that. He's like, let's see what you wanted this year. And then it's like it cuts right to the book and you can see like the Photoshop words of like PlayStation 3 on there. Dude, we were all on the floor. Like, I don't know why he found that so funny. But like, it was just a little it was just a little out of place because, you know, like Santa's in this nice like icy igloo purgatory place, and then like he just looks into the book. Like you could tell those words aren't real. Like you could tell that somebody edited the video, and it's hilarious. But yeah. So needless to say, Dad got a PS3 that year, and my reaction was it's right here. The blurry screaming Rob. Oh my goodness!
It's that one. I was waiting for it. Not again. I will never get beat.
The Raging Cookie.
Yeah, that's what we call it. That's the alternate name, the Raging Cookie.
That's the cookie that left
because I'm brown and it looks like a cookie. Like, let's be honest, it's got black and stuff all over it. Come on now. I look like a cookie. I look like a cookie.
I look like a cookie. just that's a statement right there. Yeah, that's something you scream. That's something you scream. That's something you scream off your roof. I am a cookie. Or I look like a cookie.
Oh man. So yeah, we actually got Ratchet and Clank a Crack in Time, which is I really enjoyed that game.
Best game.
Yeah, it's a bang up Ratchet and Clank game. I don't know if I'd say it's my favorite. Then again, I don't think I really have a favorite Ratchet and Clank game, to be honest. I just kind of like them all. But I mean, that was a great game to go with. And, you know, at the time we were like, hey, this PS3, the Ratchet and Clank Crack in Time looks pretty good. Game came out like a year before, but still was a really good game to have on there. But the thing that sold us so freaking hard was not Ratchet and Clank, but a game that I actually didn't even think I was gonna like. And my dad got this a few months later. And that was a Little Big Planet.
Oh.
I cannot tell you the sleepless nights we had with that game. Because when I saw Little Big Planet, I'm like, this game looks stupid. You know, like this game looks dumb. You know, my dad got. I'm like, oh shoot, guess I gotta play it now. You know, but then I started playing. I'm like, hey, this game's actually kind of dope. This game's actually pretty good. I like this game. And then next thing you know, like I'm a fanatic for this game. I'm playing it like every day. I'm like, I did not expect to do this. I'm playing like the DLC levels, and I'm playing like, and then I found like, oh, you could go online and play even more levels, and then oh man, we went to town on that game, man. Like I am confident that I had over 100 hours in that game. Same with Little Big Planet 2, maybe 3. I kind of don't like 3, but 1 and 2, oh yeah, definitely over 100 hours, hundreds of hours, I'm sure. No, that really made and I would say the PS3 actually comes kind of close, probably just because of Little Big Planet alone. That is just how much we enjoyed that game. In fact, if it wasn't for the fact that everybody abandoned Little Big Planet 2, I would probably still be playing Little Big Planet 2 like religiously. Because I mean, Little Big Planet is it's a series I have some hard nostalgia for. Like it's just like it's solid. Like this nostalgia is solid. I'm like, this is unbreakable. You can't destroy it.
I wonder what would happen if you hear the little sound you hear when you like pop one of the power up bubbles.
That's when Sackboy.
Because that's when that's whenever I have a nostalgic feeling about Little Big Planet is when you find something. Oh no, it does like the weird little squeaking sounds like when it pops up and you see it.
When you get a new sticker.
Yeah. Just squeak.
The thing about what makes me understand about Little Planet is really both 1 and 2 is really just the entirety of both games. Like anything about it, anything that reminds me of it, man, I get like the best feeling, man. I'm like, Little Planet really, a game that I expected to never like in my entire life ended up making the system for me. Like, can you believe that?
No, I can't actually.
It's an amazing game.
I mean, it really is.
One's my favorite, but
One is the best. Well, as far as single player goes, because obviously every game, the 2 is better than 1 in terms of online content, because it just is. But as far as like single player, but like as far as the story mode goes, yeah, 1 had the best one. Had the suckiest ending, but had the best overall campaign, if you will. Like one's was
Robert,
just the best. What's up?
You remember that? Oh man, it was a really fun, because I used to play it with him. That really fun. It was. Wow, fart. Wow. Okay,
Yeah,
so it was an online map, and it was. It was really fun. We had to defend from bandits, go get resources, and buy
Yukon mining.
Yeah.
My all-time favorite level in Little Big Planet, Yukon mining.
Yeah, that was the one. I had so much fun playing that. It was like that level kind of made the game for me, because I was like, oh man, this level is really fun. And
you had to mine stuff and make sure that the bandits didn't get back and wreck your stuff.
Right, and like I did like the what do you call that? I did like the story, but of course, I'm just not really good at those side swiper games, so I was like, ugh. I'll be just mad. You know when you explode, when you can make yourself explode.
Yeah.
And you know how mad Sackboy looks when he's doing it. That's me the entire time I'm playing the story mode. Just.
Or the angry face, which is ultra mad.
No, that's when I'm playing. I don't even. That's when I'm playing any puzzle game at all, and that's when Robert's talking about Breath of the Wild. No, the orange one, the one that's he's on fire. That's Rob talking about Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, that's me. It's like what?
Oh my god!
When you go behind me, you're like, Robert. So what is it you don't like about Breath of the Wild again? And then that picture lights up, and then the room just explodes.
We both go to heaven, we're both floating up. I'm like, wow, I did not know that.
And then I explode again and go to layered heaven.
Layered heaven.
I died to death.
You got killed so hard that you died to death.
Oh, of course. Oh, also, hello, Varen. You're late for tonight. That's no big. We're just over here having a good time. We're talking about
platform Varen, stuff. You suck.
And Ismael is also here.
We kind of have this trend where we're just all insulting each other a little bit in this podcast, low key.
Yeah. Because we're trying not to be bitter. I'm playing. I don't have any bitterness.
Escape.
I got distracted playing RuneScape. That's the senses I never really expected to hear in my lifetime, but I hope you were having a good time. Also, welcome, Mr. Assassin. So yeah, Little Big Planet really, it made the PlayStation 3 for me. It's way more than I'd like to admit, to be honest. It was it's one of those games. One of those games I can always go back to and shoot. Mark, if you ask me right now, hey, if you ask me to hit you up with some Little Big Planet 2 and playing that Yukon mining thing, I would do that right now. I'm dead serious.
Let's do it.
Is that on Big Planet 2 or 1?
It's in 2. You can play it also in 3, but 3 is really buggy and laggy. I don't really like to play 3.
Dude,
okay, so let's do it right now. I'm going. I'm playing.
I have Little Big Planet 2. We can all do it.
Right now.
Yes.
Podcast gone.
Cool. I'll go. 3. These guys,
Baron's also got
4
it.
players,
Dude,
just like that.
A full party right here, right now. Podcast is over. No, I'm just kidding, guys. But yeah, we actually
I don't play you.
Now we actually haven't really even gotten to the climax of my story yet because I'm a long-winded loser. So let me hurry along here. Also, my right pectoralis hurts right now. I don't know why.
You're the only guy I've ever met that says pectoralis. Are you kidding me, Robert? What?
Pectoralis.
My pectoralis.
It hurts.
Yeah, I know. But this was Robert thing I ever heard.
I don't know. It just kind of caught me. I was like, oh, this hurts.
That is the worst thing that I've ever heard since some guy on stream said that he has a pain that he can feel right where the clavicle connects to the duodenum or something like that. That is the worst thing I've ever heard. Pectoralis. What is even going on anymore?
Seems like my trapezius is a little out of whack.
We're talk about the freaking glorious PlayStation 2. And everybody's just going on about some other BS.
Sorry, man. That's kind of a curse of these improv podcasts. They go in the weirdest directions.
Jesus Christ, Mark. Chill out.
Bro, like, it caught me off guard. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that was what it was called. I thought it was just called a peck.
God. Shut up.
You're like worse than the doctors, Robert.
I'm
Like, you know how
sorry.
when they-
Jeez.
You know when they talk to you about your condition, they're like, "Yeah, your clavicle and your extremities
You
terraflebum."
have a problem
is-
connecting to your spine to your windpipe, and it's really throwing your quadricep
No.
out of whack.
Right, like something like that. But well, Robert's worse. He just says words in the full, like it's like he's the only one that will ever do. He will take the time to thoroughly say the word. Like he also say another word you say like fully that I find kind of funny is you instead of saying Mac, you say Macintosh. Like I don't know why I find it so funny. It's just like, of course Robert says. Of course Robert's the one that says Macintosh. Of course Robert's the only one. He would say Macintosh instead of Mac.
You know, I realize I never say Mac. Like on my
Never.
I never say Mac.
Hold on,
I always.
Bear.
Oh boy, gotta go to McDonald's to get a big Macintosh. I'm gonna need you to leave this podcast.
Sorry, that was funny.
I'm
That
gonna
was
need
funny,
you to.
Baron.
I'm
Good
gonna.
stuff. That was funny.
You just made up for like being 52 minutes late. Like,
Oh my god.
oh
Big
lord.
Macintosh.
It's
That's
so
amazing.
stupid, but it's funny.
Big Macintosh.
Oh my god. What's this
dear.
podcast about again?
Right. I talked about my right pectoralis, and it all just went down from there.
Something about little big play.
No, I'm trying to go on, but then my
pectoralis
my
is
right
keeping you from going.
pectoralis hurt, and then
Forget it.
you guys felt the
Forget
need to get
about
hooked on that. Anyway,
Forget
Anyway.
about it.
so after the PlayStation 3, I started becoming interested in a game called Valve's, or not necessarily Valve's, but it's Valve's Team Fortress 2. Became a little fascinated. I can't even really tell you why I did. I just kind of wanted to try it, to be honest. And I was like, Team Fortress 2. Oh, it's free? Well, let's see if we can get it on. Just out of curiosity. So, and I'm like, Grandma, I need your help. I need to make a Steam account or something like that. It was my whole Steam setup thing was really weird. I needed like help from a lot of people like the first time. Like I was like the most console peasant you could possibly be at that time. Like I was just like, what do I do? I was overwhelmed. But so once I got past that, I'm like, wow, this is okay. I got Steam, one game, okay, Team Fortress 2. All right, well, let's try it. And that's I'm like, hey, this game is kind of. I would never forget too. I joined a pub in TF2, and I think I picked the demo man the first time. I want to say. And like it was like phenomenal. Like everybody's running all over the place. I'm getting shot by everything. I'm like, I'm looking at the scout. and the demo man and the heavy. I'm like, this is ridiculous. And everybody's talking and like shouting at each other. I'm like, whoa! Like it was like that was my introduction really into PC gaming, and it was just chaotic. Oh man, and it was just so overwhelming. And TF2 is still like that to this day, but it has not changed one bit. But
I'm still overwhelmed by most of the time when I'm playing. Like most of the time, I'm like, what? They just having like 5 soldiers go across the skyline and whatever else, and all the comments that they say to each other, and that, nowadays they're like kind of gunning at each other, like insulting each other. It's just sometimes like, what? Why do you have to go at Soldier like that, man? Or something like that.
Okay, Soldier's the one that like he just sees himself as above everybody. Everybody seems like they're kind of like a stereotype in TF2. And I feel bad for the dumb man because they always make fun of his missing eye. I'm like, come on, guys. And he's the only black dude too, man. Come on. Like and he's Scottish. I mean, come on, man. Like you don't have to do all that.
And he's Scottish.
Yeah, that's the real kicker. I feel bad for Scottish people.
Why?
I don't know, because they play bagpipes. That's horrifying.
They play bagpipes? Yeah, that's what in the world?
But, yeah, so getting back to the PC. So, yeah, TF2 was a rather over-the-top and extreme introduction to the PC gaming. I'm just like, oh, what is happening, like... And this is around the same time, too, where I meet my then and still current best friend, Mark, over here. So I'm like, hey, Mark, you ever tried Team Fortress 2? He's like, no, he's like, he didn't play it. And I was like, this is a really neat class-based game and all that. We talk about the usual stuff about it. And so I'm like, you should get it, maybe get it on Steam and all that. And he's like, okay. So we started playing it together, and we actually still play the game together. But yeah, we played it through a lot. TF2 was actually a game I had for quite some time. I actually didn't get another game on Steam until about like 2013 when I got like Left 4 Dead 2. That was like my second game on Steam, it was another Valve game or Turtle Rock game, if you want to be like technical like that. But my uncle's saying here, but I like bagpipes. I'm sorry, man. Those things are scary. They make strange sounds.
It's weird because they like it still goes when you stop blowing into the instrument.
Yeah, it's like
it just still goes.
It's like it begins in delayed layers and it ends in delayed layers. I'm like, this is this is scary.
Like it's when I was a kid, or I looked at bagpipes and I looked at someone playing. I'm like, how does he still what? How's the sound still coming out? He stopped breathing. Why did you just keep blowing air into there?
I feel like the bagpipes don't exist. Like why? Like what the heck even is it?
I never even seen one in real life, so that's proof that it doesn't exist.
They're just a bunch of mythical like accordion sounding octopi.
Accordion?
I've seen a bagpipe.
They sound okay. This is what
they're false, Keon.
Screw you, Mark.
But okay, so I'm just really quick. I think a bagpipe sounds like a drooling accordion. That's what it sounds like, a drooling accordion. Like the accordion's just mind its own business, just like like it's
why are we
just really out
talking
there.
About this?
Because the demo man and being overwhelmed. So anyway, getting back to platform preferences, my take on this is ridiculous. Anyway, so my PC game, I would say my PC game, as in like my interaction with it, was it was a bit mediocre for actually quite some time, until 2016 where I finally upgraded. I worked hard at it and all that, and I got myself a proper PC, the one I am using right now actually. I love this thing to death. I love you, baby. But
oh my god.
Whoa.
But this is when I really started to see the benefits. Because before I really couldn't see too much of a benefit with PC gaming, because that's because I had a crappy PC, but crappy hardware and all that. But once I upgraded, and I still sort of kind of saw it as the years came on, but it's not until I actually owned one that I really understood that. Excuse me.
It's not a podcast without at least one.
Oh no, but that's when I really started to see the benefits of it and just started to realize just how far ahead it was of consoles. Like before I was just kind of You know, it's like kind of like that SpongeBob meme where Patrick kind of had like the board and the nail in his head, and then he's like looking through like the whatever you call that thing. I'm not a science guy. He's looking through that little like micro. Why can't I think of the name microscope? Yeah, I bet you know, guys bet I did good in science. Yeah, but looking through that microscope and all that. Yeah, that's what I kind of felt like. Also, that you and Varen Assassin, they're kind of. They're really filling up the text channel tonight. But yeah, so I really started to realize just how convenient and better it was. And see, I still like to play on a console. And guys, at this point, I'm kind of just leaving the conversation to open up a little bit so you can chime in now. But since we're just talking about just general system stuff now. But see, with console gaming, at least from what I've came to understand as I've messed around with my PC. I mean, one of the notable differences, and you really can't see this if you haven't played on PC, and nothing on YouTube can really accurately portray it. But I mean, for one thing, performance-wise, PC games just run better. They do, and it's something I really couldn't see, but before. But once I actually started like playing on PC, I'm like, wow, games do really run a lot better on here. And it's kind of to the point where I almost kind of hate it a little bit, because sometimes when I go back and play like the same game on like an inferior hardware, I'm like, what? I'm a little jarred by it sometimes. I'm like, geez, like was it really always like this? And it kind of bugs me a little bit. But there is that, and there's also how much better games look on a PC. In fact, they're actually way ahead of consoles, which again it was a bit jarring, because again, I look stuff on YouTube, I'm like, PC doesn't look that much better. Well, that's because I didn't have the hardware to use it at its fullest potential. That was the thing. YouTube really can't accurately portray that. But yeah, there was that. But there's really a lot of things. There was also the fact that devs tend to be a lot faster about patching up a game if there's an issue on it. With console games, not only does it take a lot longer. Now, this is still the preference part, the podcast. We've been talking about favorites really up until this point. But getting back to what I was saying, there was also the thing about, like I was saying, updates and whatnot coming to get PC games typically a lot faster, and I really enjoy that. Usually, I don't mean to like just rag on consoles, but it like takes years for like an update on the console to like go through, and it's the most annoying thing. I mean, not literal years, of course, but like. In my experience with it, at least, now that I play on PC, PC and all that, just experience with my updates or just downloading stuff in general, I noticed that this is not for everything on console. It depends on what you're playing, of course. But I feel that, like, generally, like, I just feel like I'm just waiting there a lot longer with console. I'm like, can you just hurry up a bit? I mean, with some games, too, sometimes it would have, like, 3 hours or 6 hours until it was finished updating everything, I'm like, come on, man. And then, while on PC, like, quite literally, with pretty much any game I have, it takes, like, an hour to install it. So it's, like, 5 less hours that I gotta wait. Yeah, and again, it does depend. Like, if you're getting, like, Retro City Rampage, like, the download time is really not gonna be any more different on PC than it was gonna be on, like, the PlayStation 3 or the 3DS or whatever. But, now, I will say, getting back to what you said earlier about when things don't go right with PC, it tends to go really south. That is very true. When a PC game has optimization issues, well, this is not always the case, but sometimes when a PC game has optimization issues, the game likes to crash or not function, or not function beyond a certain point, or it could be a plethora of things. It's so annoying. It really is, because. It's kind of what you said about consoles market. That's the one huge benefit. I mean, it's unless you're playing an EA game where like nothing works. Games tend to work right out of the package with console games. It tends to pretty much stay that way. And with PC games, you don't always get that guarantee. Now, this issue is not as prevalent as I may make it sound, but it still is a PC gamer problem. And now, and there's also other things too, like if games do have optimization issues, sometimes you have the community to fall back on, or like in Mark's case, with Bethesda games, like these huge community patches that basically fix the game and make it how it should have been from day one. You know, with all the Nexus mods and all that for, you know, like Skyrim and Fallout and whatever other Bethesda games you play, Mark. And it's also
that's it, really.
Oh, well, there you go. So you usually have, like, you know, like mods and whatnot. And look, okay, I'm gonna be real here. If somebody tells you that mods ruin PC gaming, that's in like that 1% scenario, you know. Like more than half the time, way more than half the time, mods don't really ruin a gameplay experience. In fact, they usually enhance it. Depending on what again, it depends on what you're playing, but usually it can enhance the experience. Now with certain games, I just kind of prefer not to mod it. Like I would probably never really get into modding with like Borderlands 2 or something like that. I probably just don't. Like it's just kind of with the kind of game that it is. Not only do I just find it not all that amusing, but you know, I don't really feel like, you know, just messing with a game where a format just kind of works so well as it already is. So I would say that modding in like very little situations can kind of ruin the experience because it kind of interferes with too much. But in most scenarios, mods don't really ruin an experience. I don't know where that even came from, to be honest. Kind of confuses me.
Yeah, I don't even know. Maybe it's like one guy that downloaded a mod for a good game and just completely smashed it.
He like
but
borked it, and like it doesn't work. Like he hits like W to move forward, and like the game crashes or something. Like, you know, that's just your
and the computer explodes at the same time.
Right.
Because like coincidentally, lightning struck his transformer and somehow went all the way through the wires to his computer and then.
All right. But yeah. So I really do like it for modding. Although I try to be a little careful when I use modding in an argument, mostly because it's unofficial stuff and is not actually part of the game. Like I've heard, you know, like, well, you know, the classic Dooms are better than Doom 2016 because the classic Dooms are easier to mod. Well, I'm like, well, yeah, but I mean, as far as like a standalone game goes, like I think Doom 2016 is just better than the older ones. Like, I just kind of do. I think pretty much it took out everything I liked about the older games and dialed it up to like 20. Like it's, I really enjoy that game. And yeah, the modding scene does limit the replayability on it, but at the same time, if I'm looking at a game for just what it is, then well, yeah, I never include mods into an argument. It doesn't count because it's unofficial stuff. You can play Doom on a printer screen. You can play Doom on like everything now. It's crazy. But yeah, there's also other things I like about PC gaming, like controller options. It's infinite. You can pick if it has a USB thing in it. If it has a USB thingy in it, you can pretty much use it on PC, guaranteed. And there's plenty of third-party stuff all over the place, all kind of stuff that you can use to experiment with PC. So you pretty much have infinite control options that you want. There's also customizable controls with most games. Pretty much every modern game has it, pretty much from the 2000s going forward. There's that. I also really enjoy the higher skill ceiling with shooters.
Yeah, the mouse is a lot more accurate rather than joystick.
It's
like whenever I play any shooter game, I always prefer keyboard and mouse.
Oh yeah, definitely, because it's just more precise. In fact, I would say that I've engaged with keyboard and mouse so much to a point where like a lot of shooters I play on console, I can't shoot as well with it anymore because I'm used to a better format, to be honest.
I'm about to look up whatever your uncle just said. Steel
Battalion
Dude,
controller.
the Steel Battalion controller is awesome. I love that thing.
Let me have a look.
Got to play 'em.
Oh, it's Japanese.
Awesome.
Oh my! It's like a. Is it like a? Is it like a weird like it looks like a control panel for a plane? with gas pedals.
Yeah, it was for a game called Steel Battalion.
That looks
It was amazing.
really cool.
That does look very cool. I like that.
Oh man, just wait until you play on one. It's freaking huge, and it's very engaging. It's a
Dude,
freaking
like
awesome controller.
there's even like little buttons that you can press,
Yep.
and then there's like shooter thing, and then a guiding thing, and then there's the gas, and then. Oh man, okay? I know nobody here likes racing games, but
What?
my
I
favorite.
love racing games.
Do you? Wait, who
Hello,
hates them then?
F-Zero? F-Zero?
Really? What? Oh my god! This entire
Need for
Dude,
No!
Need for Speed, Mario Kart, Mod Nation Racers. Yeah, bro, hit me up.
F-Zero?
Wow.
Gran Turismo?
I was
Dude.
hey Keon, I was about to start talking about Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo, I love having the steering wheel, the little shifter for the gears, and then the little gas pedals, because you had the gas, brake, and clutch. Man, I had Forza. Yeah, I'm playing Forza Horizon 3. Is it? Yeah, Forza Horizon 3 right now. But actually, first of all, I gotta update my RAM a little bit because it is kind of hefty on my computer because I only have 8 gigs. But anyway, yeah, I love like driving with the actual wheel because I actually felt like I was driving, and oh god, like because like racing games like that are usually kind of harder because you got to get used to like how much you turn with the joystick. But that one you don't have to get used to it. It's like actually driving a car, because believe it or not, Robert, driving a car is a lot easier than a racing game. That's why before I started driving, I was so scared to go driving because I thought I was going to run into every single thing on the road. But no, it's a lot easier than a racing game. So like when Gran Turismo had that wheel, I was just killing it. I was like, So that's what that Steel Battalion just reminded me of, which that looks amazing. Like my brother Steven would love that.
Dude, you gotta play on it one day. It is an experience you will never forget.
Did you ever? Oh man, Keon, did you ever go into one of those? I went to like a game con. I forgot what it was called, but it had like mech pods. That you go. It's not called Game Con, but it's like a con that you play games on. Oh, Varen just signed off because it's midnight.
Yeah, it's midnight.
But like you go in it, it's like a little pod. You walk in, and they close the door, and you have all these controls, and you're just a big, like, just a robot, just shooting other robots. It's like a big, it's like a big like robot. Transformers. It's like just Transformers just fighting each other. I always enjoy.
I've actually never seen.
Overwatch versus TF2. I probably have to come back to that one later because it's a little off topic, and we've already been doing that a whole lot.
Yeah, so
we're trying to just keep it a little stable now.
I was actually about to like text you about it, but I was like, ooh, we'll do that after at post podcast, okay?
Yeah, we'll check that out after.
Yeah, post podcast.
But yeah, I always enjoy the games like that. That's why I kind of like. Well, what gaming platform is that?
Arcade.
Oh,
dude, I need to. Robert, when you're done, I need to freaking gush about how much I love arcade capture.
Dude, go ahead, man.
Wait, what? I haven't even finished yet. Wait, actually, I am finished.
Did you?
Yeah, that's why I said when you're done. That's why I said when you're done.
I thought Rob finished.
Didn't you?
Soda County, you can go ahead. You can take it. You can take it. Oh,
Where'd you leave
I need
off?
to grab my charger.
Actually, yeah.
I will
What the
say
heck?
this,
You guys distracted me. What was I talking about?
I don't even know where we got dislodged from.
You were talking about like the infinite amount of controls in PC.
Oh yeah, and then my uncle started talking about like, hey, check out this controller. Okay, yeah, I see. So yeah, I really enjoy that aspect of it. I also like I also just like the flexibility and the scale of PC. About like it's kind of hard unless you just have like the most garbage PC on this on God's beautiful green earth. I mean, unless you just have that. I mean, PC is really accessible to a lot of people. You don't even need to blast a whole lot of money to get a decent experience out of it. I would say at least if you can at least get yourself a rig that can get your game to about medium, that's still pretty good. I mean, you know, even as far as performance and like graphical wise goes, I mean, it's still better than console anyway, you know. So I mean, if you can at least get up to medium, then you should be about good. And yes, infinitely upgradable. Another nice thing about PC, you pretty much just have to spend money on it when you feel like it. It's not like consoles where they force you to go up every year.
And like you're only set to have these processors and like these this amount of memory, but storage is upgradable to an extent, but I feel like it's just way overpriced. Well, when I tried to do it, it was just a lot of money to add a whole nother hard drive to it, but maybe it's different now. Because like there's another thing about console. You know how like I have so many friends that play console, and they have to constantly I went over to my friend's house and we played Rocket League, and I go over there 2 weeks later, and I'm like, oh, let's play some Rocket League, and he was just like, oh, I had to delete it so I could play this other game because there wasn't enough room. I'm like, how many games do you have on here? He said 2. He said 2 games. His console could only have 2 games installed. Like that's kind of annoying.
About the PS4.
Yeah.
That's why I just got a freaking 2 terabyte hard drive for mine. Screw that.
2 terabyte? Nice. Oh, dude. Oh, God, what's your uncle's name again? I know it was something cool.
Uncle Tomas.
Tomas. Okay, I gotta keep saying that. Tomas, we gotta play that then. Cause I used to play that mess all the time. I'm probably bad at it, but I'm probably super rusty, but we gotta play it.
You know what, Mark? You've told me a million times to get Rocket League, and I have not once listened to you.
Well, I mean, yeah, it doesn't matter if you suck or not. It's just you're just having a good time driving around in a car playing soccer. But yeah, like Rocket League's fun.
But yeah, I agree. As far as modern hardware goes, when you can look at stuff like the PlayStation and the PS3 and all that, yeah, the convenience of space on a PC it's so much better, and games don't you can't have like 2 games on the system and you're like, oh crap, now I gotta delete stuff, and that stuff is just needlessly stressful. I mean, yeah, you can get the 2 terabyte hard drive stuff, but again, that's a problem that just kind of shouldn't exist, and unless you just trash with how you get your PC parts. I mean, you really shouldn't have much of a problem getting games on there. I install and delete games all the time on PC just for just a reserve space. I still like to use my PC in a very smart way. I don't just install and just have everything installed on there all the time because that's dumb. But everything just feels so much more manageable on PC as far as just having games on there goes. You don't have to just keep readjusting and keep having to blow cache on it. In fact, the only reason why I got an extra hard drive for my PC was just for recording videos and all that. But as far as games go, I haven't really found a reason to upgrade to another hard drive, mostly because I just don't really need it. I use up the game and then I just delete it when I'm done with it, And if I want to install it, well, just give me 40 minutes and it'll be back on there again.
Exactly. Even if you want to keep it on there, there's no problem. It's not like your computer can't handle having a game installed.
Right, it's not gonna have a stroke.
Because I have currently, I'm not even counting. I have a plethora of games installed right now, and I don't even touch half of them. So I have at least 30 installed.
Ditto.
Yep.
Oh, gee, look at you guys.
And the old boy over here keeps everything installed.
My uncle, I keep it. That's because he has that's because he's always he has a million PC parts, and he always gets stronger stuff.
He's like the black market.
He is a walking black market. Yes.
He's the black market of the computer parts. He's the one that
opens his jacket and better PC parts just drop out, and it's like.
I got that
i9 core processors that are not even existent just pops out of his pocket.
I bet he's got a NASA.
I got these.
He's got a NASA computer in his jacket or something.
He has the Tesseract from from Avengers in his jacket that powers his computer.
He's got Jarvis.
32 terabytes.
He's got Ultron.
I'm sorry, Keon, what were
He's
you
got
saying?
Ultron installed. This dude's got freaking 32 terabyte hard drives on him at all times.
He has 7 of them on.
I'm pretty sure he has like 4 like 20 terabyte hard drives in his body to prolong his lifespan or something. Like, oh,
he's
man.
got 6 cylinder i7 core processors to keep himself going, keep himself in good shape. He's in top condition from all his processors.
Oh man. So yeah, getting back to a PC and all that. Actually, I want to take a break for a little bit. Keon, you said you want to talk about arcade cabinets. Let's let you have some fun.
All right, all of y'all get ready to stay up until like 3 in the morning because I already know.
I'm down. I'm down.
I am so ready. This is the moment I've been waiting for.
No, but Mark's but anyway. Oh dear. Back when I was a kid, when we didn't really have many games for our PlayStation 3, for our PlayStation 1 and 64, PlayStation 2 and all that, we would always say go to Game Boy. We would always go to movie theaters. We would like go out and see a movie or something, and in the waiting lobby for the movies, there'd be arcade cabinets. There's of course your standard racing cabinets, your like shooting game cabinets like House of the Dead and Time Crisis. Time Crisis, amazing by the way.
How do you know that? You know, Time Crisis is at this laser tag place I go to. That's crazy that they have the same type of thing. Yeah.
Dude, Time Crisis is everywhere, man.
Time Crisis 5.
Yeah, specifically
Time
5.
Crisis
Yeah, 5 is everywhere.
I played a lot of 1 through 4. Never gotten to like finish any of them, but I need to go and play 5.
Because you have to pay a lot of money to finish them. But
yeah, you really do. I used to always get like a bunch of quarters for football. But anyway, way back when was when all right, let me close myself. Way back on the PS1 that we had the original Tekken on there. So going through to these arcades and seeing that there were actually different Tekken games than freaking Tekken 1 where everybody was a freaking blocky mesh.
Whew.
Like, I saw Tekken 4, I was like, wait, what is this? I need to play it. Tekken 4, dude? I freaking picked up Tekken 4, dude, at the arcade over there waiting for the movie to start up. I started playing like throughout 30 minutes of the movie. And my mom had to come back and drag me into the theater because I didn't want to stop playing Tekken 4.
That is amazing.
She shouldn't have given me so many quarters, but even when she like she doesn't even trust me to go out to go like get butter on the popcorn and get a refill or anything because she knows I'm gonna go back and play Tekken 4. So yeah, I pretty much never.
So you were kind of like this when you saw that Tekken 4 was a thing. You're like, hold on a second.
Yeah, exactly. Like, is that say Tekken? I was freaking hooked. Now, I saw Tekken 3. One of the things that I've sort of like revolutionized myself was not actually when I played Tekken 4 or 5. It was when I played Tekken 3 at the arcade. Oddly enough, in that same movie theater in this big mall, there's this place called like the American Funhouse or whatever the heck. And they used to have a Tekken 3 machine in there. Unfortunately, it's gone. It's been replaced by Time Crisis. And
oh, okay.
yeah, I missed that Tekken.
wait, what place are you talking about?
It was someplace in a mall. I don't quite remember the mall name. The only thing that I remember about it is that it said Movie 16 on the outside of the building. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, I know what place you're talking about. It's like a movie theater, and it's a mall at the same time.
Yeah, that place. Yeah, that
And
place.
like you walk in, the movie theater's on your left, and then when you walk down a little bit more, like it's a long hallway, and then like the mall's on your right. I've been there before.
Yeah, that place is awesome. I would love to go back there and just play in their little arcade.
I don't know what y'all talking about.
Because you haven't gotten with the times, Rob.
Yeah, I'm freaking old. Actually, I am older than both of you guys. Ugh, I'm old.
Robert, please, come on now. You're older than me by like 2 months. Get out of here. Jesus.
My skin's already flaking. I'm already dying as we speak.
Oh, of course.
18 is
We're all
hard.
dying. But yeah, like I was saying, I played on the Tekken 3 machine. I'm pretty sure I played more on that Tekken 3 machine more than I played on the Tekken 4 machine. When I
Jeez.
ran out of quarters, dude, I was like, no,
Absolutely
no.
livid.
Yeah, I ran out of quarters. I didn't think that I could live anymore. I'm like, no, I just need to play more Tekken 3, more Tekken 3, more Tekken 3. And so, yeah, the only thing that was on my mind after I left that day was Tekken 3, Tekken 3, Tekken 3.
Bro, that must have been a good game.
Dude, Tekken 3 is awesome. I mean, it's not my favorite Tekken, but Tekken 3 was freaking amazing when I was a kid. And so were just about a bunch of the other arcade games. Like, Die Hard Arcade makes you fight against player 2 to beat the game. I spent $20 and the game was... That sounds amazing. You have to beat player 2 to beat the game. That's awesome. That's a cool concept. But anyway, like I was saying, back in these arcades, I would always play, like the fighting games. I played Tekken. I played Soul Calibur 2. Oh man, Soul Calibur 2.
Oh, Soul Calibur 2. Oh, Lord.
Soul Calibur 2 in the arcades was just the best stuff.
It was.
I swear I was super good with Nightmare that I could beat people who like have played the game before.
I was so good with Young Sung, the one with the sword that was just, yeah, the one that was just always jumping around. He's like, hey, yeah, I'm gonna beat you. Like, I loved his stance because he just never stopped moving.
Yeah,
he was like Maxie, but better.
Yeah, I played Nightmare and Yoshi.
Yeah, I do like Nightmare though.
Yeah, Nightmare and Soul Calibur 2, aka Siegfried, and every other game was freaking amazing.
Yeah, Siegfried 2, and what's that dude with the big axe? Asteroid? Astaroth. Asteroid. Okay.
Yeah, best Soul Calibur ever made. I don't know, Soul Calibur 3 kind of has it there. But anyway, I always used to play a lot of Soul Calibur 2, a lot of Tekken 3. I even freaking played Street Fighter, but I never really liked Street Fighter simply because I thought it was too hard at the time. I didn't know how to throw a fireball. And way back when was the times in the arcade. Like, man, these arcade machines, this is how I got most of my study in. Okay,
Markion, dude, are you on the battlefield or something? Because like, there's a lot of wind coming through your mic.
Okay, he's under fire in his foxhole. Give him a second.
Really? Wait, what?
Yeah, it sounded like you're like kind of rubbing against your mic.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. This thing's like getting in my way, and I'm trying to like move it.
It's all good, man.
But yeah, this is where I mostly got a lot of my studying for fighting games. I played a bunch of Tekken 3. I played a bunch of Soul Calibur 2, and a bunch of people would always come around me just seeing like, oh man, look at this kid. But no, thing is, this is back before like internet tips were a thing, where people like sharing tech in a Discord chat room or whatever. That stuff didn't happen. People weren't aware of my stress with Nightmare. People knew nothing. I may have been a kid, but I actually sat there and studied and started like actually knowing what I was doing. And really, playing on these Soul Calibur 2 and these Tekken 3 arcade machines really have made me like sort of form with another player. Like, hey man, we've been playing for hours and hours. You spent a lot of money, good games, all this other good stuff. And arcades are just like another place where people can bond. There's a screen, there's 2 controllers, go ahead and play. Nothing's there to mess you up, And I'm like doing the headphone thing. Stop. But yeah, arcade machines. Yeah, I'm talking more about the fighting game. Soul Calibur. Yeah. I like lost my train of thought for a second. Let me try and recompose myself. Oh yeah. The impact that games like Soul Calibur 2 or Tekken 3 have left on me it's kind of heartbreaking. I never got to play Soul Calibur 2 again, despite it being on the online store for the PlayStation 3. I need to buy it, by the way. But I did eventually get Tekken 3 back for the PlayStation 1, but I could play it on my PlayStation 2. And dear God, playing Tekken 3 again, dude. I was like, oh no, oh, it's coming back to me. It's coming back to me. This was like way forward. I'm like 9 or 10 or something in these arcades. I mean, not in these arcades. When I got Tekken 3 back, I picked that game up. I I didn't have a PS1 memory card, so I couldn't stick it into the PS2 and save my data. But what I did was in one solid go, I unlocked every character, which took a while because you have to beat the game with every character on, I believe it's normal or higher. So yeah, I pretty much like, all right, I'm gonna beat the character with the base roster. I'm gonna beat the game with the base roster. Okay, I'm gonna go down and beat it with the unlocked characters that I get, that and so on and so forth. And during that, I was using a lot of these techniques that I've learned in the arcade, whether it be from what I practice. Okay, all right, man. When I like going back and unlocking all the characters, yeah, like I said, I was using skills that I both learned in arcade and from studying and from my opponents. I sort of breezed through the game, and it just brought me back to my arcade days. And more so to speak on not so much my experiences with arcade games with like Soul Calibur 2 and Tekken 3. Just arcade games are just very interesting things to me in general.
Really?
Like I love their shape, and I love how, yeah, like I love their shape and how they're all unique. Like it's a screen, it's just you in the game. It's like a TV game. You get something, it's installed right in there. And one thing I've always loved conceptually about older arcade machines like Donkey Kong and all that
Mm-hmm.
was how it was actually a board to a game, and there wasn't anything like the CPS2 or the CPS3 where it's a board but you switch out cartridges. And and that stuff really like intrigued me. I was actually doing quite a bit of research on arcade cabinets. I don't remember too much about it anymore, but remember those 3D games that had holograms? No, I don't remember, unfortunately. They're just really fascinating things to me. I really love the hardware that they're made of and how the hardware is mostly built to play specific games and how they have to completely upgrade different boards if they wanted something stronger. That was kind of funny to me for some reason. It was like, oh, it's like they're making a new console. They should just release arcade boards and put them into consoles and then just ship them off as consoles and sell the games individually. That way you would have arcade perfect fighting gameplay or just arcade perfect gameplay, because usually when fighting games are ported to console, they have certain errors. Like there's a thing in Soul Calibur 2 where Nightmare, if you B throw somebody near an edge, in the arcade version, you'll ring them out. But on the home console version, you won't ring them out. They'll just like plop onto the ground, which I found to be very weird. I was like, huh, okay, so that's different from the arcade. And I'm telling you, that arcade perfect games they just play so much smoother than original games on the voice crack. They just play so much smoother on the arcades than they do on like console, in my opinion. Like even on PC, I think that the original Tekken 7 arcade cabinet is just much better than the PC port. Like the arcade port there's something about it that just makes the game feel way smoother than what it does on PC. Even though PC is currently the best home console port of Tekken 7, it's just what the hardware is built for. The hardware is completely built for Tekken 7, so it does run Tekken 7 the best. And I guess that's another reason why I really, really, really love arcade cabinets, because I think I've said this before, but they run what they're built for, and therefore they run it the best. And you just got yourself a fast-paced, fluid, going at freaking high speed, insane, get your money's worth action arcade games, and hey, I don't see a problem with that, man. Arcades for life.
Okay then.
And That's my little standpoint on arcade cabinets. I would gush about F-Zero GX, but F-Zero AX, but I never actually played it too much. So.
Okay. That was a pretty interesting lecture about your take with arcade games and Tekken and all that good stuff.
Soul Calibur. Yep.
Soul Calibur, Tekken, and basically anything of the like.
Oh yeah. All right, one more thing.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I think this probably has to be like my final piece to really say for tonight. But the reason why I do still play on consoles is mostly because, well, I'm a bred and grown up fighting game player. And fighting games are obviously played on consoles, at tournaments, at big events. Like nobody plays, like they either play it on arcade or they play it on console. Like you still see Tekken 7 tournaments playing the game on arcade in Korea or in Japan. And oh wow, really? Even on F-Zero AX? Well, that's actually pretty dang cool. I actually didn't know that. Yeah. Even in Japan or in Korea, people still play like Tekken tournaments or Street Fighter tournaments on arcade sometimes. But if they're not using arcade, then they're using console. More specifically, for Street Fighter 4, they would use the Xbox 360, but simply because it was the best port at the time. But we all know nothing beat the arcade. But yeah.
Well, yeah. The whole history with fighting games and like why you don't really see see them too much like as far as like people playing them on PC goes. It's really interesting, just looking at it.
Because it more so stems from the fact that most arcade ports of fighting games actually weren't out on PC, so they just pushed them straight on the console.
Yeah.
So
Japanese devs tend to be a bit more hesitant to put stuff on PC. So that kind of plays a part into it too. And a lot of Japanese companies are making fighting games.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like they just sort of release their fighting games on the console. That's why we never saw Soul Calibur 2 on PC. We never saw Soul Calibur 3, Tekken 4, Tekken 5, any of that on PC. And well, I guess that's just really what screwed the nail into the coffin for me and why I'm a console player. Okay, so this is just about as close as I can get to an arcade cabinet? Sure. Let's freaking go nuts. This is what more people are playing on. This is where I'll find the competitions, and so be it. Nothing against PC, but I'm just going where my mainstream is. Fighting games.
And that's how it should be. That's what you should do.
Yeah, if it works for you, it works for you. So what question? I'm sorry, were you say something?
I will still be getting a PC though, Monster Hunter World.
Right, yeah, so just kind of in regards to what you just said about the Monster Hunter World thing. So just thinking about people as individuals, when we have just thinking about your whole taste thing, and really that's the biggest part about it. Where your taste at? What's your heart's desire, if you will, with what you like. And like you said, everybody plays fighting games on console, and it's weird enough. Yeah. And weirdly enough, I'm surprised that it's never really gone to PC. To be honest, because everybody else is kind of moving on with every other genre, but fighting games is like the one genre that does not move, like ever. And I'm pretty sure it will never move.
Dude, like when Dragon Ball FighterZ first launched on PC, boom, best launch. Excuse me, that was gross. I'm sorry.
Yeah, ain't a podcast. I couldn't even finish it that time.
Anyway, Dragon Ball FighterZ launched on PC. Boom, most successful fighting game launch on PC. Period. Next thing you know, 1 or 2 weeks later, Dragon Ball FighterZ Steam player base dropped by over 80% on PC, and it's still roaring on consoles. People still play that game like it's freaking hot crap on consoles.
Oh, I did not know that.
I find that like weird. Same thing happened for Tekken.
It is a really strange situation. Like, why does everybody just go away from? I mean, I'm not trying to like freaking flex on the console players or anything like that, but like, why are they going from superior hardware to inferior hardware? I mean, yeah, you got cheaters on PC, but I mean, the thing about cheaters on PC is that it's not as prevalent as people make it out to be, especially with Steam's protocols.
Oh yeah, Steam Protocol. But even then, Steam Protocols. Yeah, I guess I wouldn't know. I don't have any experience with that stuff. But there are some cheaters on Tekken. Like this one guy who just uses macros to do a move called the Electric Wind God Fist, which is a really strong move. It's super fast and it's like safe on block. But anyway, I think why most people stray away from PC is simply because most PC players. I think it just has something to do with PC players.
In regards to fighting games, right?
Yeah, in regards to fighting games, of course. Like PC just sells everywhere else. I think a lot of other people also still move to console for fighting games simply because they have that belief that it's arcade perfect in a sense. Since like Japanese devs will, optimize the game for console. It's like
because they don't believe in actually trying when it comes to PC for some reason.
Yeah, which is weird. Like I think that there's actually something with Tekken on the PC that's not arcade perfect. I think it patches out a glitch where if your character's near a wall and you do like a wall combo on them, there's a chance on this certain stage that they'll actually zip to the other side of the screen. And I don't think that's on PC. I don't know. Maybe it is. But I know that they've done some weird stuff with the engine on PC. Like, well, not with the engine. Nah. I know it's a little different on PC. I know that.
Okay.
It has like a weird delay. But
yeah, it's one thing I've just kind of looked at, and it really has just kind of it's just really
happened.
Yeah, it happens. It is like, I just keep sitting there, and it's kind of like bugging me at this point. I'm like, I don't even really care about fighting games. I'm like, why does this not? Like, what's the problem? Like, I'm just sitting there thinking, I'm like,
fighting.
I'm sorry, keep going.
Hey man, I'm just gonna drop a bomb here. Maybe because you guys are too casual to pick up a real man.
Wait, the last part was a little too quiet. What did you say?
I said maybe you guys are too casual to pick up a real man's genre. I'm kidding, of course.
Wow. I mean, come on, we throw shots at you. You can throw.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it's kind of fair because I mean,
to be honest, you guys have
PC gamers
shots at me this whole thing.
Yeah, PC gamers, I mean, they always whip out the minigun on light up console gamers like it's just no tomorrow. They're always doing that. So I mean, if you fire one or two shots back at us, I mean, it's cool. Like,
well, it's funny when console players fire back.
Huh? Well, okay, you guys can just freaking win off like, okay, you guys play shooters. Oh, look, you won off BS recoil. Well, try that in a 1v1 perfectly skill-based game. Let's see what happens. That's what I feel anyway. Like, it's more of a skill factor in fighting games where the sort of things in first-person shooters and first-person shooters in general, actually, it seems a little more luck-based.
That depends on which first-person shooter you're playing.
Yeah.
That really depends.
I'm talking more so the recoil. I know that there are some games that have like certain recoil patterns, but I'm talking like random spray recoil, how that can just be straight up unfair.
Cough, heavy from TF2.
Actually, his bullet spread is not random if you're playing like comp.
No, I'm just talking about the stupid heat-seeking bullets.
Oh, well, that's just called lag issues, but we don't talk about those.
Lag.
But that's not. But that's more of your problem. Like,
that's more of my problem.
You can have internet problems like on any competitive game.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
But I mean, as far as luck based goes, again, that really depends on what the game is and how you choose to play the game. Like Counter-Strike, I mean, like the bullets. I don't really know how the bullet spread exactly works with that one.
It's exactly the same.
Does it like shooting a pattern?
Yeah, there's tutorials on like how to know your weapon pattern because each weapon has a certain shot pattern.
Okay,
that's why people can like switch at you and then like move their gun in a weird way and they'll hit you with every single bullet.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so yeah.
No, I think what it is that the PC is sort of clouded. Just has so many games where it doesn't have too many variables within it. Yeah, they're all skill based and such, but fighting games just have like a ton of variables, and I guess PC gamers are like a little. It more so goes towards the player, and not so much, like the game being the game. I think. Actually, hold on a second. Of course, I lose my train of thought right now. Man, I hate being up so late. I just lost my train of thought mid-sentence. Yeah, it ain't coming back.
No.
Oh no!
No! No!
It's too late. It's too freaking late in the night for this.
Ah!
Whatever. I've said my piece. I actually don't know why fighting games are like dying on PC. A lot of people say it's because most PC players are casuals when it comes to fighting games. While that may be true, because obviously nobody comes from like the arcade to play fighting games on their PC. Since it never goes from arcade to PC in the first place, it always goes arcade to console. I guess that's why there's not many fighting game players on PC, because they simply just don't have much of a experience with fighting games as console players do, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, think of it this way. Think of VR and how like nobody's really using it right now, and it's still making a scene on it. You got to make some attempt. You got to have some kind of way to push it, with a marketing tactic. I mean, it's like, people aren't really doing it or aren't playing fighting games too much on PC, so I might as well not try it. Well, I mean, that's not really a good like advertising or business ethic to have, to be honest. Actually, that's kind of terrible to think like, well, it's not really you're supposed to like, because I mean, with a lot of new introduced concepts, you got to push it. And I mean, fighting games is just kind of one of those things where it just really isn't all that much push. And say, well, yeah, fighting or PC games are casual for it, and the PC games are casual, so why even try? I mean, that's a really...
They're casual. Well, the thing is, they do put fighting games on PC, but the thing is, they're so casual to it because fighting games are still somewhat new to PC, and most PC gamers could really easier matchmaking on console. Usually, the servers are more stable from lag than PC. Easier time playing on console because hardware is equal.
That actually does make sense.
That is actually
that makes a lot of sense. I understand that. Again, Uncle Tomas just freaking runs everything because he just he just knows his crap.
This guy knows his hardware stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, just getting back to the whole thing about like shooters and all that, and skill based. Again, that really depends on what game you're talking about.
Yeah, it really
like
depends.
Team Fortress 2.
That was a bad choice of words on my part. Bad choice of words on my part.
Hey, it's cool, man. Yeah, because I mean, like, if you look at a game like Team Fortress 2, like looking at the skill like that, like on the surface, I mean, yeah, you don't need too much skill to like get too good at it. But if you look at the people who understand the mechanics in and out of that game, dude, it is scary. Like they're clicking all over that keyboard, but they do some of the craziest stuff you could ever see in that game.
Craziest stuff, just like in every other game, like in Rocket League, how that game seems very luck based. It looks luck based because like the ball just seems like too big of a variable or something.
Yeah,
insane stuff. Like you see people do insane stuff in that game, and that's what makes it extremely hype.
But it's not luck based because how I know is no matter how many times you want to hit that ball, and no matter how many times you hit that ball in whatever direction, it will never do what you want. You have to like know what angle to hit it. It depends. It goes as far as you gotta hit. It goes as far as hitting the ball with the certain part of your car. If you hit it from the bottom, it does this. If you hit it from the back, it does this. If you hit it from the side, it does this. It's just like
it's a big variable.
Yeah. It's like Rocket League is something else. Like you have to like spend. That's a game that you like fighting games too that you have to spend in the practice room for like a while. Because I remember playing fighting games. You had to sit. I had to sit because like I had to sit in the training room and just learn combos and all that other stuff.
Yeah, learn combos. Thing is, learning combos, you're not even scratching the surface, and that's the sad part about fighting games.
Really?
You sit there in training room, but yeah, learning combos is definitely not everything when it comes to fighting games. Fighting games also involve a lot of psychology when it comes to sort of pressuring people and getting them to react like this in this certain situation, or also learning how to
That's too much. That is way too much. I am good. This is not college.
Go on, dude. I can go on.
This is not
but
college.
I'm not going to. I'm not going on. I'm not gonna go on because this isn't this kind of podcast. It's not a fighting game podcast.
Yeah, I would say that
I'm not
the
gonna go on.
only thing I can really relate to that too, as far as like understanding the base mechanics, but knowing that you have to like consider how to choose your actions in a certain situation is really Team Fortress 2. Because you gotta study mechanics, you gotta study what gun is good for this situation and what you're up against and how you should react to it.
Yep.
And usually, especially as a scout man like me, if you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna die really fast.
You're gonna get blasted.
Yeah, you're gonna get shot up against that wall, And you guys like stuff like soldier and rocket jumping, when to rocket jump, how to rocket jump. It's so much. There is so much to that, and then you see other hero-based shooters, or really just like class-based shooters showing up. Yeah, Overwatch is another one. So I mean, you're starting to see like this new trend kind of come up with shooters where they're having this more this wider variety and having to not only understand the surface of it, but you having to actually really go deep and understand what scenario you're put in. It's not like Call of Duty where it's very one-dimensional.
It's just chaos.
Yeah, it's just chaotic. Yeah. It's just really one-dimensional. But you actually have to consider your moves. And I will say it makes shooters, I will say, as far as on the competitive scale goes, it makes them feel a lot less brain dead. And that you actually have to consider your every move. I will say I think we kind of do have TF2 to thank for that a little bit,
Thank freaking TF2. TF2 like setting kind of like a base for hero shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, you have set a base.
And I will say I very much do enjoy the less brain dead environment that it has. Although at the same time though, who doesn't like him a little Quake? Where it's just you're just zipping around and you're just blasting everybody.
Quake is too. I hate Quake.
Dude, Quake is amazing,
dude. I do not know what is happening in Quake. I played it like once, and there was people using launch pads, nailing me with rocket launchers. I picked up the shotgun. I just didn't do nothing to anybody. Like, oh my god, Quake is too much. Like, it's like Doom. It's like the old Doom speeds.
It's like PvP Doom.
Just zooming around, just zooming around, jumping around. Like, how does anyone even hit anyone in that game?
Yeah, I mean, Quake pros are scary. I mean, like, they land every single shot. They know how to do every single jump. Like, they do the riskiest stuff, and they just know what they're doing. It's like watching a pro fighting game player. It's like, how are you doing that? How are you doing it so fast? Please stop. You're like, you're like sitting in a corner. You're getting scared.
Yeah, I watched when at that summer job, I had a guy named Greg. He was watching I think it was an Injustice tournament at a gaming convention, and those guys were ridiculous. Like, they were like positioning, they were like dodging, they would fake moves, and then there was even like commentators on it, and it was like some British guy. I will never forget this. He was like, "Oh, he's gonna get him with a turn. He's gonna. Oh, he got him. He got him." Like, I'm like, what is that? Like, what are you talking about? Like, he said something about a turn, and like I didn't know what. Like, nothing even happened. But he said, "Oh, he got him." And I was like, "What do you mean he got?" And Greg's like, "Yeah, he got him." I'm like, "What you mean? What did you do?"
You know what scares me? As far as like high octane games go, though, you know what scares me? Quake Champions. Because that has characters that have different abilities and that can do different things in different situations. And all the Quake pros are playing champions now. So that's going to be terrifying. Because not only do you have to worry about how fast they're moving, but who they're playing as and how you should approach that enemy.
I don't even know if they can actually see. They probably have like a third eye in Quake. Like they don't use their eyes. They use their third eye.
They're all Tien Shinhan from Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I don't know what. Like, I don't even know how you see. If you're standing still, I can still barely see you.
Everybody is scout from TF2.
Everybody's scout times 10 from TF2.
Yeah.
With a rocket launcher.
With a rocket launcher, yeah. Or the freaking lightning gun.
Yeah, that thing. I had it one time. I didn't even know what was going on.
I don't understand Quake pros that can land. What's up?
I just want to point out the fact that it's almost 1 a.m. Eastern time.
Yeah.
It is almost 1 a.m. and we are going on 2 hours and 4 minutes.
Wow.
We are just killing it tonight.
Okay, so
We just sat here and rambled.
we did. I need to say something.
I've said my piece.
And I've kind of
Okay.
said my piece as well. So, Mark.
All right, one final piece. I am waiting for the promised land to come when all systems are equal and they can play on the same platform, no issues. It doesn't
Thank
matter.
you.
Yeah, can
Doesn't
we
matter
just
what you play. Doesn't matter if you play Xbox. Doesn't matter if your friend plays PS4 and you play Xbox One. Y'all can play the same game together. I'm
Thank
waiting
you.
for that day.
It seems like we're getting to that too, because we do have crossplay with quite a bit of games.
Yeah,
Yep.
crossplay is starting to
Fortnite.
become mainstream, and I like that.
Yep, Rocket League does it. Fortnite does it.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure PUBG does it.
Brawlhalla
Does it.
Street Fighter 5.
That one too. I didn't know about that one, but yeah.
And even as far as like non-competitive games, like isn't Monster Hunter World? Isn't that supposed to be crossplay?
No, it's just cross country now.
Cross
So you can play with
country.
Japanese players.
Oh, that's freaking lame.
Man, I don't want to run.
Dude,
I
I,
wanna-
would love that to be.
I want to play with the
cross-platform.
PS4 boys though.
Right? I would love to not have to freaking blow like not hundreds of thousands, like $1,000 on a PC just so I can actually sit here and play with you guys.
I just want to play
That
with the
would be amazing.
PS4 boys. Because I'm sure,
Right, I wanna
I'm
run
pretty
it to-
sure PC and PS4 are gonna have the most bustling Monster Hunter World communities, like by far.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Because nobody plays on Xbox.
Yeah, who the heck plays Monster Hunter on X? What?
Nobody plays
Lawrence.
those certain-
Oh, that is inside.
Wait, who do you say? What do you say?
Lawrence. You remember Lawrence,
I know.
Keon?
Yeah, I remember Lawrence.
Yeah.
I've seen that guy on the bus a few times.
He would be
Freaking
the one guy.
Lawrence.
I'm sorry, guys. You guys here on the almost at the stream, the podcast, and you guys, especially you guys on YouTube. You guys just, I'm sure you guys are just a bit lost. I apologize, but yeah, Lawrence. He's
Lawrence.
inside joke kind of friend. Really cool guy though. Really cool guy. But
Really nice.
okay, so we're gonna end it with this. Okay, so we know that VR is becoming more and more mainstream, and I would like to consider VR more of a sub-platform. So let's just keep it simple. What are your thoughts on VR? Because I wanted to get to that tonight.
Fun. That stuff is so much fun. It's a lot of money to get it, but it is fun. My brother blew like $3,000. Not I'm not exaggerating. On a kit, he got he said trash.
Yep.
But it's really fun. First of all, he bought this over the top computer, just completely overclocking like a mother lover. And then he bought the VR kit, which was the HTC. So that was another $1,000 because the sensors, the headset, the program, the little hand thingies. Oh, man, it's so simple, but it's so much fun. There's a game. There's the simple games are really fun. I played this game where it's called Color something, and you would play a song, and you would be sitting there. You have your two shields. You have the red one and the blue one, and then these little liquid balls will come at you, and you have to block the ball with the corresponding color. And then sometimes a purple ball will come, and you got to put your shields together and make a purple shield. And playing the song in your head is awesome. There's also another game which I probably mentioned to you guys before, but it was called Drunken Bar Fight. It is the most stress relieving, anger management helping. I want to punch you so bad helping. It's just it's such a releaser. It's like a massive stress ball that always works because all you do is just fight people in a bar. And then there's also it enhances scary games. It's you're not looking at a computer screen. You're just actually that person walking around.
Right,
when
because
you
my
look over,
anxiety wasn't already bad enough.
right. You know me, Rob. I was playing it was called A Chair in a Room, and a sound mate a girl I was walking down the hallway and the lights flickered and a little girl was crawling really fast at me. You don't understand how fast I fell to the floor. But I just screamed as loud. But yeah, VR, I love it. But at the same time, it really gives me a headache, and the little padding around your face gets very, very sweaty. so it's nasty. So if you're
Yeah.
like playing with a buddy, it's nasty because you're like, ugh, ugh. It sweats on my
Right,
face.
just like
It's in my
I'm
eye.
good on that, man.
You know, and
Especially like if it's like, look, I mean, you guys you do it, but like, especially if like it's another dude, I'm like, nah, man, like, nah, like I'm not putting on.
you know, I don't care who you are.
I'm not putting on a helmet that. I mean, really, I just hate sweat. Period. But
Yeah, I don't care who you are, sweat or no sweat.
the
Straight
dude
on the
juice.
dude juice. See that my uncle understands me. Straight
on the dude juice.
Like, I'm straight on the dude
Jesus.
juice, man. I don't roll like that.
Yeah, no, but yeah, I love VR. The experience is fun, but it's really not worth that much money. If you're starting off from like from scratch, not worth it. Even if you have a computer that's decent like mine, but mine still cannot handle VR. So it's just not worth the money. But it's fun when you play it. It's fun when you have that dude that just has a lot of money for no reason. But it, you know, it's fun, but it's not worth it. That's how I feel.
Okay. So what say you, Keon?
I don't know. Me, I just feel VR is rather unnecessary, in my opinion. I think that paying so much money for just having like the screen up to your face in glasses is just like it'll like Mark said, it gives you headaches. Like I think it will cause eye strain or something like that.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, I mean, I already get a headache looking at my PC screen when I'm like playing like Serious Sam or like Team Fortress 2 sometimes. I mean, like I don't. Yeah, I'm really weird about it. I mean, I haven't really had that much of an experience with VR. I've had very little experience with it, not much at all. And I will say that it does produce a unique experience because I mean it really does. I mean, come on, especially if you're playing something like Serious Sam VR or Doom VR, you know, or whatever, anything of the like, where you got like two guns and you're just like you're spraying people and all that, and you're actually doing it with your arms. You know, that's Try playing the virtual. I'm good on that, Uncle Tomas.
Funny thing is, I actually have played on a virtual boy. They have it at this one place that I went to when I was a lot younger. I played on it and my freaking neck was in pain.
Yeah, the virtual boy is VR at its worst, but
That's that thing that hangs down and you put your face in, right?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I almost broke my neck doing that.
Yeah, don't mess with the virtual boy.
It was a game where you were like a little turret and you're trying to shoot down planes, and a plane flew right above me. I tried to whip around, but the thing stopped and my neck didn't, and I was like,
Ooh.
my neck cracked, but it didn't like break. So I was like, never going near that thing again.
Yeah, don't mess with the virtual boy. But yeah, I'll go say about the VR and all that. I mean, it looks really fun. You know, it looks really engaging. Now, my only thing is that it almost seems like, you know, it's really fun, but it almost like it comes with a price, you know, with certain experiences. Like, you know, people are saying, you know, you could probably turn the VR into an esport, and I'm not saying it's beyond that. You know, it's a sub it's more of a sub platform, and I could see it actually going to esports and all of that. But I feel like there are things that kind of come with it that can kind of hold the experience behind it that makes sense, because as opposed to, you know, like a competitive, you know, environment, you know, with a controller or something like that, where somebody is simply faster hitting a button than you are or something like that. I mean, in sports, you know, like that, your physical ability and all that, it all plays a part into it. But video games, if you will, kind of simplify that concept and make it more accessible to everybody, if you guys catch what I'm saying here.
Mm-hmm.
And with VR, it almost seems like the accessibility is taken away a little bit, at least from what I've seen. I won't say that I won't just like enforce that, but you know, it just seems like, you know, I still like the idea of, you know, like physical, you know, it still being a competitive physical activity, but at the same time, I feel like it kind of limits people to a certain degree, you know, like somebody pulling out a gun faster than you will, you know, as opposed to, and depending on your physical situation, that might be extraordinarily difficult, as opposed to just hitting a key, if you catch my drift, or hitting a key or hitting a button or whatever it is.
It just sounds like competitive one switch. That's what that sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, and again, I mean, okay, so I'll ask you this, guys, this honest to goodness question. Now, do you think that VR is going to be a part of the future of gaming, or you think it is the future of gaming?
I think it's a gimmick.
It's only a part. Yeah, it's just a gimmick. It's just a part of it, in my opinion.
seen a lot of people
the
say
VR
that.
is.
I'm sorry. Keep going.
I think that the VR is sort of a platform that's sort of open to evolution. Like it'll lead into much bigger and better things, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way with it. And to be honest, I think that even if I got a VR, like Princess VR stuff myself, I don't think I would. I think I'd be really particular with it. Like, I wouldn't want to play like an action adventure game, a third-person action adventure game or something like that, in VR. Like, that just seems so unnecessary. And I'm like, I don't. Let me just play on a screen. Now, of course, with shooters like first-person games, hey, knock yourself out with it, and all that. But I feel that like to a certain degree, the skill ceiling is it's a bit limited. I mean, I'm still all for that, but again, with the whole VR is going to be the future of gaming. Now, a part of the future, I can wholeheartedly agree to that, but it being the future of gaming, I really can't see that.
Me neither.
One, VR is not really accessible to everybody on a health level. To be honest, some people get really motion sick from that stuff. Some people, some people get really motion sick by it. For some people, it's the hardware it doesn't. I know they say that screens don't actually hurt your eyes, but I mean it's still straining and all that stuff like that. Some people just aren't going to be able to handle it as well as just playing on a TV screen or a PC monitor, whatever you play on. I just feel like it will be a part of it, but I don't see it completely. Like I don't see it like just completely taking over. I just don't see that happening. Like, why would I want to play, like, Super Mario, like, Odyssey freaking 4, like, like, in a VR or something like that, or, like, a Zelda game in VR, like, I don't, no, like, I'm good on that. Give me a controller, I'm good, like, no. I feel like VR can be a part of the future, but it has to know its place. And that's just about it. At least that's how I see it. I wholeheartedly accept it as the future of gaming, but it has to know its place.
Agreed.
Uncle Tomas is saying here, if it gets to some Ready Player One stuff, I'm straight. Yeah, I don't want to feel like I'm legit being shot at. Like no.
Yeah, I'm good.
I don't know. I kind of like that. That's actually what will probably make VR a lot more engaging.
I'm not about to be in World War V.
But to like Ready Player One levels, that's like scary, dude.
Like if someone's actually shooting at me and I feel it, and like that's too much.
Be the best. It'll actually be a lot closer to virtual reality than just putting a freaking cone-shaped screen to your face.
Oh, dude.
But I don't
VR fighting
like...
games?
Drunken Bar
There
Fight.
already is one. You can play Tekken 7 in VR.
Again, that does sound weird. I asked that more for joke's sake, but again, that just sounds like, is it like exactly how Tekken 7 or whatever Tekken game that was? Is it like exactly how it is, but just in VR?
I don't know. I've never seen any VR gameplay. I know that you can because there is an option on it for the main menu.
Yeah, but I mean, again, to me, that just feels unnecessary. If that makes sense. Like
I feel
like it's just. I'm thinking more along like a first-person, fighting VR game, but really anything beyond like first-person anything, VR just does not look necessary to me. And again, it's just like when I mentioned about like if you're a console gamer, you haven't played on PC, you really can't fathom just the scale of what you can do on a PC and all that. And it's the same thing. Just me looking to a VR, I won't be able to fully understand exactly all the ins and outs of VR because I haven't tried it all that much. But again, you could still kind of get an idea of what will and will not work. Of course, again, no experience speaks like, actual experience, but
Yeah, I feel like I'm the one here that has the experience, but like even then, I can't.
You seem like you're pretty much on the same page with us, though. Even
yeah, because like
even after
because like it's just a gimmick, and like I can't even enjoy it for more than a half hour because by the time it hits half hour, I'm sweaty, my head's just blasting headache, and like my stomach feels queasy.
It's just a Wii where you can look around.
Yeah, yeah. You can dual wield Wii remotes on that thing.
And
Ah.
it's about 1 a.m.
Yeah,
it is.
I'm draining, guys.
And it's about we're going on 2 hours and 20 minutes, but I think we can end it off here.
Yes.
So I think this was a bang up podcast. This was
Yes.
this is one of the golden ones
I'm
right
telling
here.
you, man. I'm telling you, man. I'm freaking podcast magic.
I did enjoy that. Tomas was here with us as well.
Yeah, Uncle Tomas. And this is the first time he's been here.
Uncle Tomas.
So I would say I will give you a nice official welcome to the Out Loud Podcasting server. Welcome, and I look forward to seeing you in future podcasts.
And maybe
He's
speaking
cracking
one.
jokes.
Oh yeah.
He's cracking.
Maybe
jokes.
speaking one, you know? You know what I'm saying?
And I'm glad you
Yeah.
fellas got to finally meet my uncle, even though it's through text, but still.
I mean, same thing.
Yeah.
I can see his personality through text.
So yeah, I'm glad you guys really.
All mine ever.
I'm sorry, what did you say, Kia?
Oh no, nothing important. Nothing important.
Okay. But I'm glad you guys really enjoyed the podcast. I had a blast doing this podcast. This is
Yeah, I
a
did
fun.
too.
This podcast
This
was
is a
pretty
fun 2+ hours. I really enjoyed this one.
Yeah.
And guys, check it
We
out.
went off topic a lot, but
Oh yeah, who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, it's Out Loud podcast, and we don't care here. But as long as we don't break off and stay off, we're good.
yeah.
But yeah, really glad you guys went on here and check it out. We had a civil conversation. We're all on our own different zones with platform preferences and all that, and not once did we argue or get into a fight.
Yeah,
We
we
can-
just
can
cracked
learn
like
to
innocent jokes.
Yeah, innocent jokes, but it's just a sign that we can coexist with each other. So please, guys.
Yes.
I don't care if you play on PC, if you play on the 3DS or the freaking Game Boy Color. Be nice to everybody, all right?
Yeah, it's not that serious to have a
Agreed.
full-blown argument. Where I see it, you did not produce this thing. You did not make this thing. You didn't invent this thing. So stop defending it like you did. Just play it and just be like, all right, dude, that's you, and this is me.
Have
you
a
know,
good time.
right? You did not produce this. You're not. It's not. it's
Just say have a good time, Mark.
just have a good time.
Thank you.
Also, Uncle Tomas saying over here, I'm going to need a chair with more padding if they all last this long. They actually tend to go to about an hour and a half. This is actually an unusually long podcast.
It was just because we had record timing off topics sessions.
Yeah. But there's just a whole lot to say about these systems. You really can't sum it up, just in 10 minutes. I mean, Keon alone lasted 25 minutes when he was talking about his console experience.
Man, when
We started off with-
when he went on arcade, man, that was how long was that one?
I don't know, but I'll
About
go
a
back.
A good 15 minutes.
Yeah, that was. But when you were talking about that, I did have some nostalgia hit me when you were talking about going to the arcade with quarters. When you said quarters, I was like, oh man,
Those were the times.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Man, could you imagine going back to when arcade games were arcade places existed and they were banging? Could you imagine going to 80s or whatever?
So
The
basically
80s, yeah?
every arcade that's been around since the 80s, pretty much.
Yeah, being in the 80s and playing in arcades. I would kill for that experience.
That would be
Rest
nice. Now
in peace,
everybody just
Super
stare.
Arcade.
Now everybody's just huddled up to their PS4, Xbox One, Switches, and PCs, and they just don't talk to each other. It's really an experience that has disappeared in the past 30 years, and it kind of sucks.
Oh.
Indeed.
Closed 2 years ago. Such a sad thing.
Very sad.
All right. Anyway.
But
And
yeah,
then
we gotta get going. We gotta close this one up because we're going pretty far. So yeah, guys, glad you two gentlemen came on tonight to talk about platform preferences. I really enjoyed this conversation. I would say this is one of my favorite podcasts. Actually, I really enjoyed this one. Glad you two came on, Uncle Tomas. Welcome to the family, second family. I'm RoberOnocle. This was Keon. This is my good friend Mark. Both good friends, actually. I'm not leaving you out, Keon. I love you. And we will all see you guys next time.
See you, man.
Woo-hoo.